There's one man you should not be trading away walking into week number 5, and that is De'Von Achane. And we're going to talk about why. We're also going to talk about why he's still a great player to go acquire, because there are tons of people in fantasy football, very fickle people, that are afraid of something coming down and crashing and burning. And a lot of people, and I can tell you this from experience because of my text line that I have a pulse and temperature on fantasy football freakouts and freakout Freddies and concerned Caleb's. I have a pulse on that more than I believe anybody, because I have incoming messages constantly that tell me, Smitty, do I trade away Achane? I can get rid of him right now for said bad player. I hear it over and over to the point where I know that not every Achane owner is going to sell him, but not every Achane owner believes the wave won't crash really soon. So buying Achane is not as hard as it seems, as hard as you think it is to go do, but selling him is a big mistake. Don't sell Achane. The Fantasy Football Show begins right now.
Live from the FantasyFootballShow.com studios.
It's the Fantasy Football Show. Live!
Monday through Friday,
8 p.m. Eastern. Smitty is also live whenever news breaks.
Appreciate you all being here for today's Week 5 Tuesday show, where we're going to talk a little bit about Achane and why you shouldn't trade this man and why you should be trying to acquire him in some sort of complicated trade where maybe you're giving up a player that, I don't know, is popping off, and you're buying a wide receiver like Devontae Smith or Ridley or somebody like that with Achane in order to get 2 players for your one popping off player. Now, it's not always wise to trade a player that's going nuts like Stephon Diggs, but if you're in a spot where you can't win with Stephon Diggs, you have Stephon Diggs, and you even lost in week number 4. You have Stephon Diggs, and you're 1-3 or 0-4. You might have to trade Stephon Diggs. Doesn't matter how good he is. There's no, hey, Smitty, I can't trade Diggs because everybody says not to trade Diggs. Only you know whether your team is capable of winning if you look across the other teams and say, okay, Bob's got a great team in accounting. Steve in acquisitions has been acquiring players like Achane all season long. Mary in repo has been just absolute on a terror. And I'm sitting here getting in the elevator, going to the 4th floor every day with Mary, Bob, and Steve. And here I am with Diggs, and I'm losing. I have Stephon Diggs scoring Stephon Diggs points, and I'm still losing. Only you know if you need to make a trade. And this man right here, Mary in repo, or is it Bob? I forget who owns Achane in your league, but is freaking out right now because they're afraid the wave's going to crash. There are so many self-destructive Donnies in fantasy football. They try and get rid of players while they're popping off because they're afraid the wave is going to crash. And I'm here to tell you that this man is worth the risk in any sort of hold or go get in fantasy. He's one of the most exciting players in fantasy. And if you take a look at in week 1, he did not play. And everybody said, oh, he's a scratch. I'm going to go ahead and stay away from him. When we've talked about it every single waiver wire show. His week 1 snap share, 8%. Or sorry, his week 1 snap share 0 because he did not play. His week 2 snap share, 8%. 8. Week 3, 42%. Week 4, 66%. Snap share going up every single week. Week 1 did not play. Week 2, routes run 9%. 39% in week 3, 68% in week 4. Things are improving across every single category. Attempts, week 1 didn't play. Week 2, 4% of the attempts. Week 3, 42% of the attempts. Week 4, 47% of the attempts. De'Von Achane is getting work and he's getting fed. And it's probably only going to continue. And I think at this point, if you own him, you have a saving grace. You have a player that came in. This is why waiver wire working is such an important part of fantasy football. This is why drafting and holding some of these rookie running backs that we always tout, some of them don't work out. Some of them are delayed. Some of them get healthy scratched in week number 1, like De'Von Achane. but they can win leagues, and sometimes these players are saviors. Kyron Williams is a savior. Devon Achane, a savior. Could Michael Wilson be a savior? I don't know if we could put him in these categories. Nico Collins, a savior. Tank Dell still could come around and be a savior. Everybody loved him last week. Now everybody loves Nico. It's kind of a rotation, but here's the waiver wire, and maybe looking at this waiver wire list, you might find somebody that can help you. Maybe not save you like those guys, but be somewhere in the ballpark of helping you, assisting you, and maybe climbing back. McLaughlin, this waiver wire show you can go watch. It's a standalone video. Go look for the graphic. It says waiver wire week 5. Here is the waiver wire list we came to in that show and nailed it down to these guys. Stroud, a clear top quarterback ad. I mean, you could say top 7 to 10 quarterback in fantasy football right now. McLaughlin, probably the best now ad. Bigsby, Spears, and Charbonnet have that Achane vibe, if you will, or potentially, and I still think Roshan could have that. Warren could have that. The combo of a couple of these guys. Make sure you're grabbing Jameson if he's available in your league. That's the waiver wire show. We did that already. If you want to watch it, go watch it. It's there on the YouTube channel. Probably the last video, right? So I just got to ask you guys, where do you rank Achane moving into 2023 week number 5? Do you rank Achane as a top 5 running back, as a top 6 to 10 running back? Or are you a negative Noah that doesn't have him, so you're just here to kind of rain on the parade and try and take it down and just bring the negativity in? I don't know. Drop what you feel. Drop what you think. I'll throw your rankings on screen real quick. Then we'll get to these super chats that are flying on screen. And let's go. Let's roll. C-Max says took Eckler 1 and Garrett Wilson 2nd. Garrett Wilson was screwed by he was about to have a monster season. Don't beat yourself up on that, C-Mac. And Eckler's coming back, so get ready for a big terror. Bye week free after this week. He'll be healthy. Eckler is one of the best buy low players in fantasy right now, period. You let other people draft him like C-Mac, then you swoop in and you take him from C-Mac in a trade. You say, hey, C-Mac, I'll give you Josh Jacobs. And I'll throw in a Nico Collins. Nico Collins and Josh Jacobs for Eckler. And then C-Mac is so pissed off about his 0-4 start that he says he has right here. C-Mac, I'm not picking on you. I'm just isolating an example of how you trade. And C-Mac comes in and says, guys, I'm 0-4, the league I care about most. I'm here to vent, and we're here for you, C-Mac, and we're going to help you. But I'm just saying, in an alternate universe, we would go after C-Mac and would say, hey, C-Mac, who says, I took Eckler 1. Well, let me take care of that for you. You drafted him. I'll go ahead and finish it out. Okay, hold my beer. You send Eckler to me. I send you Jacobs, and I send you Nico Collins, and I get Eckler. And everybody goes, why did he give up Eckler so cheap? Because he's frustrated. Because he's venting. Because C-Mac is in accounting by the water cooler, venting to Margaret from Repo. And Margaret hears the despair in C-Mac's, tone and says, give me Eckler. I'll take him. And C-Mac's so distraught right now. He's got 10 TPS reports he's got to type up. And Margaret takes advantage of C-Mac at the water cooler. It's known as Watergate over in the office. And C-Mac loses the league. And in hindsight would have won it had he just hung on to Eckler, grabbed Achane off waivers, and maybe rolled with Nick. I don't know. C-Mac, I appreciate you. Here's all of the rankings you guys get. Top 6 to 10 for Achane. Number 1, says Brian. At least top 10, easily top 5. 9 to 12. Tyler only has him in 1 league. That's why he's being cautious. Top 10, AC doesn't own him at all. But he's being realistic about it. 6 to 10. There you go. Top 10. Matto's got half a share. He shares a league with his roommate. And so he really doesn't own him. He has half a share. Doesn't really feel the same. Top 10, Rob, appreciate you. Top 5, that's somebody that owns Achane in 2 leagues right there. Top 5, appreciate you. Benji, top 5. He has him in 3 leagues. Benji, appreciate you. Benji posting it again. So maybe he owns him in 3 leagues. I don't know. But appreciate all the votes. You guys are absolutely amazing. Superfish, definitely an owner of Achane. Top 10. Let's roll. Let's hit these super chats. Let's get to your questions. Let's open the phone line, and then let's let's get to all this stuff. So we got a couple $20 haulers we need to throw on screen immediately. First $20 hauler is from Xavier. Xavier, appreciate you coming in strong. We got Brian dropping a 20 watt on screen. I got two $20 haulers side by side from these two absolute monsters, and I'm going to give you in preparation of going as fast as I can so we don't get behind on the super chats. I'm going to give you the bunk bed action. Pushing the bunk beds together, you get the $20 hauler at the same time. Dollar bills to the left go to Brian. Dollar bills to the right go to Xavier. Let's go.
Alert. Super chat alert. Alert.
We clearly had the cameras off, so let's do that one more time. Dollar bills to the left go to Brian, to the right go to Xavier.
Alert. Super chat alert. Alert. Super chat alert.
Yeah, buddies. Appreciate you. Okay, Xavier coming in with a 2 and 2. My current team is T-Law, Bijan, Achane, Ridley, Garrett Wilson, Warren, Tank Dell, London, Javonte, Pickens, Flowers. Would you stand down? Achane to the moon. Yeah, let's go. Look, Bijan and Achane are going to treat you just fine. Where I'm kind of worried about you is you don't have a lot of depth of the mid-range variety. It's like a lot of struggle bus players right now, and I'm not saying that they can't bounce back. Javonte, I think you got to just write him off at the moment. You can put him on your bench, but I mean, you're not considering him from week to week. It's tough to sit Tank Dell. He had a bad week, and then he's going to go off and pop off next week, and Collins does. They rotate over there. I think Garrett Wilson and maybe... this is going to be hard. I'm not going to lie to you. This is going to be hard to fix. You're probably going to have to try and wait a little while until you gain some value back out of, which I don't know that T-Law is going to do what we want. We hope he has a kind of a second half of a season that we thought he'd have in the first half. You're going to have to wait till Bijan. Don't trade Achane right now. Bijan, Achane, Ridley, Garrett Wilson, Tank Dell, London all have some big week. And then I think you got some wiggle room. There's nothing to do here. You just got to wait it out. You're 2 and 2, which is nice. You got a little wiggle room to allow some of these guys to bounce back. But until London and Pickens and JSN and Ridley and Garrett Wilson and Bijan and T-Law have big games, you have no flexibility. And if you were to trade Achane, you'd have to sell him for the moon. You'd have to go get an Aaron Jones and a freaking wide receiver that's in the top 10. Like, you're not going to get that. Maybe somebody overpays for Achane. Who knows? But that is the only way you're going to potentially be able to move something now without destroying your team. So you got to wait. I hate to tell you that. I tried to come up with something, but I don't want to force anything and make you destroy your team. So stand down and wait. I appreciate your $20 hauler. I'll come up with something if I felt like it was wise. I don't think it is. I don't think Bijan gets you what you want in trade. Ridley's not going to get you what you want in trade. You can't even couple London and a couple of those guys together to get somebody. You could try London and maybe a Garrett Wilson to go get a Devontae Smith or Aaron Jones or JT or something like that. That's probably, let me put that back on screen. I just want to make sure I'm giving you the best advice I can, especially with the 20 wad that you dropped. I want to take care of you, Xavier. I want to take care of Xavier, who we're sending to the moon. I would try something along those lines. Can you get rid of London and Garrett Wilson? I don't think you're going to, but can you get rid of one for an undervalued wide receiver like Lamb, Ridley, Olave, Devontae Smith? That I probably would do. It leaves you even thinner than before, but it gives you at least a chance to have like a big gun that can come in swinging and help assist Achane and Bijan and Ridley. So appreciate you for your super chat. Brian with the $21 hauler. No question for the super chat. I've listened to every fantasy football podcast out there for 15 plus years, and Smitty's show is the most fun with the best approach to the game. Also, no question about that. Thanks, Smitty. Brian to the moon.
To the moon.
Brian to the absolute fire.
Let's go. Mashed potatoes. Yeah, buddy.
Brian, I appreciate you, my guy, coming in with just a $20 bit of gratitude. And the appreciation's all on this side of the fence. You can rest assured. This one's from the thumb man. He has a I don't know what the conversion is on this. He slipped in as if it was a $20 hauler, but that's okay. We still appreciate him. Got offered Hawkinson, JT, and Pacheco for my CMC and Ertz. I'm keeping CMC, bro. There's no reason to make that trade at all. You need a whole lot more from someone's trying to steal him away from you, my guy. Just steal him away. Absolutely no. Downs or Dotson rest of season? Probably Dotson. I mean, they're both going to be potentially inconsistent. At least Dotson caught a touchdown. Monitor his health, but Dotson at least caught a touchdown. Looked like he might have sparked a little something, and maybe he resurges a little bit. Should I trade D-Hop and Swift for ETN? No, I'd rather have Swift and D-Hop. I think Swift and ETN are close enough that you don't just start throwing in players like that. Not that Hopkins is something special right now, but I don't know. He might be trade bait. Waller or Ferguson? Probably going to go with Fergie right now. How can you start Waller? Waller looks like garbage. They didn't have Barkley, and he didn't do anything. They're not using him. The offense is horrible. Danny Dimes is cheeks, bro. No. Waller is a big bust. Drop London for Jameson Williams? No. I do not do that. I'd rather have London. It's definitely tempting to try and find room for Jameson Williams, but he's guaranteed nothing. He played 6 games last year and caught 1 football. So let's not get ahead of ourselves. I like him. I'm very excited for him, but you can't drop London. London the week prior had a touchdown, and he must have had a second touchdown. Everybody was talking up London. London's back. One more bad week, now he's droppable. Everybody's got to relax on the overreactions. Fields owner, trade Gainwell for Love. I own Swift. Absolutely. I don't care if you own Swift. You're not ruining any sort of handcuff monster or some kind of safeguards on your top 10 fantasy running back. Gainwell's garbage anyway. Go get Love to back up your Fields operation there. Operation Justin Fields is still risky at this point. I got a hot one, Smitty. Guys offering me Waddle plus Hall for Olave and Barkley. No, you're going to keep Olave and Barkley, but I do try and trade Barkley, but no way I'm trading that. That's not... Hall isn't playing at that level. I'm not saying Hall can't, and I definitely like acquiring Hall, but no, I'm not doing that. Not to mention Waddle's not playing on that level. At least Olave has most of the year. So trade Barkley for somebody else. Trade Barkley for Achane. Do I try and maybe give Watson plus Barkley? No, I'd rather Watson and Barkley. Look, Watson's going to come back, not take a lap, Matt, but no, I don't like those trades. Watson's going to come back on a tear. I really do think Christian Watson is going to be an amazing player go forward. Been toying with the trade, my Chase for A.J. Brown. I don't hate it. At this point, I don't hate it. Do I think Chase could it be a mistake to trade him away? I think there's that possibility. Could it be an equal chance of a mistake keeping him and not getting an A.J. Brown while you can? Absolutely. It's 50-50 on this one. If I had 2 leagues side by side, I would keep Chase in one and I'd trade him for A.J. Brown, trying to get more because fair market value still may or may not allow you to get more. I don't know. It depends on the person. But I would do the trade in one league and not in the other. That's how conflicted I think we all should be on Jamar Chase. I don't think we should just be assuming that things are going to be okay, but I don't know that we should be kicking him to the curb or doing some kind of stupid trade. Thinking of throwing Sharps or Gibbs would move the needle. I don't want to give in Gibbs as if he's nothing. I know everybody's upset at Gibbs. I get it. I'm going to get a migraine in a second. I get how Gibbs is disappointing to everybody, but he's not a throw-in to move the needle. Brian, and I appreciate your super chat. I'm not mad at you. I'm just passionate about this conversation. He's not a throw-in. He still could be a league winner. And if everybody wants to give up on Gibbs, I understand how frustrating it is right now. But if you think there's still not a world where he gets unleashed at some point, even if it's week 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, which is a lot of games when you really think about it. Like, that's still a lot of time. Even if the man doesn't do a single thing worth anything until week 10 and Monty gets hurt because they're running Monty into the ground, then you gave away a league winner. Right now, he's a league winner from a different lens. The guy trying to get him from you is looking at it from this perspective. This could be the next Achane. I'm going to hold him, wait on him, and then eventually deploy him into my lineup. And if it doesn't work, no skin off my back. I got him as a throw-in. He's not a throw-in. No. The answer is no. Charbonnet, a little easier to throw in, but he still has league-winning potential to stack with Hurts. The stack doesn't matter, Stone. Not a redraft. It doesn't do a single thing for you in terms of points, but it is fun. It is fun, and I don't mind doing it. But yeah, don't throw in Gibbs. You throw in Charbonnet, I'm okay with it, but I still think Charbonnet could be a league winner. Traded Pacheco and Dell for Garrett Wilson. I don't mind either side of that. If you needed an RB torch, I could get behind the Pacheco side. You need a wide receiver, I could get behind the Garrett Wilson side. No one got the other on that. That's an even Steven type trade. Liz with a $10 holler. Liz, appreciate you coming in strong with a 10 spot. 0.5 PPR. Love Burrow, Pollard, Kenneth Walker, Garrett Wilson, Pickens, Musgrave, Atwell, Dell, Kincaid. I'm 2-2. Any trades I should go after? Look, you kind of got to roll the dice with one of these quarterbacks and maybe trade one away to the QB riddled, injury riddled owner. And there has to be one in a 12-man league. Somebody's starting Dak Cheeks Prescott. Somebody's starting freaking, I don't know, you, Joe Burrow. I don't know. I mean, you might want to roll with Love and trade Burrow, to be honest with you. But Love is a guy you could gamble on here. Go pick up another quarterback. Who knows? Stroud might be available in your league if this is a grandma league. But I would say I would definitely feel like the best opportunity for you is to take one of your QBs, roll with Pollard and Walker, roll with the other quarterback, go to the QB needy team and say, I'll give you my QB and Gabe Davis for that struggling Devontae Smith you got there that's doing nothing on your team, or that Waddle who's doing nothing, or hey, let me go upgrade Pickens or Garrett Wilson into a Ridley or someone like that, using the quarterback, using let's say Love or Burrow. It's risky to leave yourself one of these QBs. I get that. That's why I probably would lean toward keeping Love, who's on pace for 42 total touchdowns, by the way. Everybody's so quick to judge Love. Drop Love? Do I drop Love for Stroud? I'm not saying don't pick up Stroud. I love Stroud. I think anybody that has Love that's considering dropping Love for Stroud should pick up Stroud. He could be a league-winning quarterback given his current play, given he could even get better. But nobody should be dropping Jordan Love. He's trade bait. He's very good trade bait. He's on pace for 40-plus touchdowns total. The guy scored 3 in week 1, 3 in week 2, 2 total touchdowns in week 3, 2 total touchdowns in week number 4. He's on pace for 40-plus total touchdowns. He's not drop material. He's definitely valuable. I do think maybe we might have a conversation here in the next couple days, if not tomorrow or even right now a little bit, that is there a world where I want to trade Kenneth Walker high? And that pains me to say, but I'm not here to make friends with the players that I've been touting all offseason. I'm not here to stick to my guns or even say, hey, this has worked out well, we must continue. Or, hey, I told so many people to draft Kenneth Walker, you better hang on to him and not trade him. But his schedule is brutal. His usage is confusing, and it's limited, but he keeps skating by with touchdowns, which could continue, and I love him. And I'm not saying trade him away for anything low, but it's an opportunity to say, hey, Charbonnet is getting more work. Walker's still an absolute monster. Seattle has a strange way of game scripting some games, and sometimes the run isn't there until the second half. Sometimes Walker's game gets salvaged at the end. And I'm not saying I don't love Walker. I love him. I don't want you to trade him, but he's somebody to explore trading high. And in this situation, could you go get an Aaron Jones plus a wide receiver like Devontae Smith or Waddle by giving up Gabe Davis and Walker? It's something to think about. Explore it. Thank you, Liz. Appreciate your super chat. Appreciate you very much. This $5 hauler from Ryan, Lamar, Kyron, Aaron Jones. Keep Aaron Jones, Tyreek, Tank Dell, Fergie, Gibbs. This is a great team. Got offered Gibbs and Treylon for Khalil and Dobbs. No, Khalil and Dobbs look, keep Gibbs. Just keep Gibbs. There's nothing there that's making me feel like, and if you're getting Gibbs, are you getting Gibbs? Or are you getting, yeah, let's see here. You have Aaron Jones. You have Gibbs. Keep Gibbs. He's worth holding at that value. That is trash. Like, I'm not saying Dobbs isn't a good player, but keep the running back. Keep the guy that still maintains top 10 running back potential if he's given the work. No one's saying he'll even get the work. I have no idea if he'll get the work. To the moon for this $10 hauler from Mrs. Brock. Brock, can I improve my team? PPR team is Mahomes, Bijan, Barkley, Devontae Smith, Debo, Kelsey. Really good team. Swift, Kamara, you're fantastic. The players you want to potentially trade, you've got Mike Evans. He's hard to trade right now, but somebody might see the allure and, okay, there's a little bit hiccup in his big season he's having. I'll go ahead and buy. Christian Kirk, pretty decent player to sell right now. Barkley. So Barkley and Kirk. Barkley and Mike Evans. Try and get a player slightly higher than that. I think Pollard can be bought right now using Barkley and Kirk, Barkley and Evans. I don't know if you can reach any higher than that. You know, JT's interesting. Eckler would be my number one target for you. Barkley and Evans for Eckler is not out of this world crazy. I think somebody might pull the trigger, especially this week with Eckler being out. And if the Eckler owners 0-4 or 1-3, then you have a real nice opportunity. My number one target for you is Austin Eckler, without question, without equivocation. Steve, Dameon Pierce for Gibbs straight up. I think Pierce is safer for now if you need now production, but I am more of a gambling man type of person with trades, and that means that I'm going to go after Gibbs and hold and buy him at his all-time low, which I understand not everybody's on board for. A lot of people just want to wash their hands of Gibbs. Like, if I just get him off my roster, I'll feel better. I won't have to look at him. It's like when you buy one of those bad movies and it's in your iTunes library and you're like, I just don't even want it there. I just want to just delete it. I don't even care that I spent $19.99 on it or $14.99. This movie sucks. What is that one movie? What was that one movie? It was the drummer. It was like that there's a teacher, the guy that plays in some of the Marvel movies or something. I forget his name, but it's that movie about the drumming. That the instructor was really mean, and I bought that movie, and I don't know why I bought it. It was on sale. It's awful, and I contacted Apple, and I'm like, how do I delete this out of my library? I don't even want to see it when I go through the movies, and if somebody's watching, and somebody's over, I have a guest, and we're like talking, hey, let's watch a movie. We pull up our list, and there's that movie. Looks like I'm incompetent because I bought a movie that's stupid. That's how I think people feel about Gibbs. I think people really believe that if they just get him off the roster, they're going to feel better. And I'm willing to be there to scoop up Gibbs from that owner, the freak out Freddy, the person that's given away Jahmyr Gibbs as if he's nothing. I'm there. I'll be there. Hold my beer. I'll take Gibbs. Let's roll. It's not Waterworld was a good movie. J.K. Simmons. What was that movie? What was it called? Whiplash. Dumbest. I didn't even finish it. I'm like, this is stupid. I'm not watching this. Drumline. No, not Drumline. There was another movie. I forget what it was. It was, I forget. There's 2 or 3 of them in my library. That was an amazing movie. Maybe I should have finished it. Not quite my tempo. I don't know. Maybe I should have finished the movie. It sounds like a few of you liked the movie. What's good? Appreciate you. Barkley, London for Eckler. Absolutely Eckler. Come on, Corey. Drumline over Whiplash. Hot take. Okay. Appreciate you. G-Money with a $20 hauler.
Alert. Super chat alert. Alert. Super chat alert.
My boy G Money coming in strong. Hey Smitty, 3-1 in a 12-team half PPR league. QB Mahomes, Ridley, AJ Brown, Kamara, Kenneth Walker, tight end Kelsey. It's a great team. Flex Watson, very very good. Brees on the bench waiting. Should I go for Eckler on this team? This is a team where you don't even need to do that, but I don't mind it. I'd probably trade Kenneth Walker for Eckler. And I know that's going to be controversial. I would try and get more because you have the player. I mean, they're both on a bye week, but you have the player that's healthy. And I just think it might be a crafty move. I love KW3, bro. I love K9. But I just think it's an interesting move. And I believe Eckler, because Mike Williams is out, will be leaned on heavily. So not everybody's going to feel that way, especially coming from a pro Kenneth Walker guy like me. But it's the reality of the situation, in my opinion. I think Walker scares me in terms of volume, not because of his talent level. So that's where I'd probably come from. Consider that Eckler, maybe try and get more, come in strong. Smitty, one, don't like Whiplash, great movie. Was Whiplash really a great movie? Maybe I'm even mixing it up with another movie. I don't know. Maybe I'm mixing it up with something else. What was that other wrestling movie with the guy from The Office? Or was he was in it, right? The guy from The Office. I bought that movie too, and I swear to you, I was trying for so long to find out how to hide that movie from my library. It was awful. I can't stand having my library tainted with a movie I hate, and so I tried to remove that one as well. Anyway, D Money, that's what I would do. Of course, if you could get him in another fashion, I would try, but I don't think there's a real likelihood of doing that. I kind of like Kamara. I don't know that I want you to get rid of Kamara. So go ahead. I don't think it's the wrestler, bro. No. Whiplash masterpiece. Nick Cannon trying too hard. What? Gibbs almost worthless. Good. Wendigo, trade him to me. Trade him to me. Anyway, I feel like it's a controversial move. Walker for Eckler, but it's something I would strongly consider it with that team. But, standing pat is good too. Like, your team's very good. Why mess with a team that looks that solid? But I've got Raheem and Achane, starting Achane this week, as you should, Alex, as you should have last week as well. But you probably didn't. I don't really blame you, but the way you worded that, I'm pretty sure, Alex, that you didn't start Achane this week. They both did good. It was probably confusing for somebody that owned both, because it feels like Mostert's the starter. He was doing better than Achane. Achane then flipped the script, and they both just went nuts. But I could understand why you might. Foxcatcher, yeah, that was a really bad one. Foxcatcher. I don't know if I ever deleted it out of my library, but I'm like, this is tainting my collection. I don't want Foxcatcher on my list. It was a really bad movie. It was so boring. Traded Mostert and Fields for Christian Watson. I think you overpaid. I don't necessarily think it won't work out, but I think you overpaid. I think Fields for Christian Watson was plenty. Like, why are you throwing in a player like Mostert, who I believe he gets hurt at some point, but he's still a very viable running back. And you did overpay. You did overpay for sure. But Carlito's way, it still could work out for you. But Fields had enough, I think, umph coming out of that game. You could have just traded him alone. Traded Laporta, DJ, Addison for Waddle, win or loss. Laporta, DJ, and Addison. That's a lot for Waddle. Waddle hasn't even been producing. Look, I'll say this, the same thing I just said to the gentleman before you. I don't think you necessarily made a move that you can't recover from, or that won't even work out for you. It could work out for you in your favor, but I think you way overpaid. You bought Waddle as if Waddle's been popping off constantly. Mason was gifted Superfish gifted memberships here on the channel. Superfish dropping, what is this, 10 gifted memberships from Superfish? And then did we get another one? We had a gifted Superfish bought one and then gifted 10 of them. Superfish to the moon. Absolute glory. Thank you, Superfish. Yeah, you overpaid though. Fair market value. Laporta, DJ Moore just went nuts. Addison still got good value. Waddle's been doing nothing. But I don't think it, ruins you or anything. But I just think you didn't trade enough or get enough in that deal. Stroud and Palmer for Mostert. I don't know that. It depends on your Stroud and Palmer for Mostert. I don't know on that one. That one's that one's I guess even, but the problem is what happens if Mostert continues to play very well or gets injured, on that side. I'm sorry, if Mostert gets injured and you don't have him in there, and what if Love doesn't play well or something and you're getting rid of Stroud? I don't know. Trading for Mostert's kind of not my thing. I think trading away Mostert is more my thing. I don't know about acquiring Mostert. I would acquire Mostert on the cheap. I got Achane in the Marsman League, and I have tried to get Mostert but I'm not like excited to do it. It's just kind of like, okay, I have Eckler and I have Achane, and that's it. So I've bought Kelly to cuff to Eckler, and I'm interested in Mostert to cuff to Achane because I have no other running backs whatsoever. But that's the only reason. It's not because I'm excited or think that Mostert's going to stay healthy, but I don't mind him. He's a decent player to throw in this week. Trade Kamara or Swift and Love and Gibbs for Eckler. I would maybe trade Swift and Love. I would try not to trade Gibbs. Swift and Love for Eckler. Yes, I would do that trade in a heartbeat. I think that's a really good move. Thomas with a $10 hauler. Thomas, appreciate you dropping a 10 watt on screen. Thank you very much. Superfish, thank you again for the gifted memberships. 10-team PPR, just got my first win. Fields and CJ and K9, Sharps, Kyron, Aaron Jones, Warren, Amon-Ra, Waddle, Watson, Dotson, Dell, Ingram, Kincaid. Good job. K9 week 2, Waddle week 3. I don't know what this means. Week 3, Jones on Friday. Fire, drop Warren for Bigsby. Kincaid for Komet. I would say both those moves are okay. I like Warren. I like Warren and Bigsby, so just keep that in mind. Congrats on your win. I think your team's pretty much a hold at this point. You can't trade Waddle or Amon-Ra on the low. Again, K9 for Eckler is something I'm kind of toying with for people. It's high risk, high reward because he's banged up, but I just think without Mike Williams, they'll start throwing to him a lot. He was a void for me on draft day for the reasons he's out right now, but I think that doesn't mean we don't swoop in on guys we avoid drafting and buy them low once they're hurt or out and doing the things that we expected them to do, miss games. And Eckler's still a risk to miss games, but I think it's pretty solid to go grab him. And so, if anybody owns Eckler, be honest with yourself and say, okay, he's freaking unbelievable. He's everything we hope for. Walker. Kenneth Walker. Kenneth Walker's everything we hope for. He looks amazing. He's elusive. Scores touchdowns. He just looks the part. He's absolutely phenomenal to own. It's so exciting to own Kenneth Walker. But you have to admit, if you're a Kenneth Walker owner, you're holding your breath a little bit each game, and you're feeling like you're getting a little bit lucky with game script. Superfish gifting 10 more exclusive memberships. Unbelievable, Superfish. And anybody that got one now is a green name and the ability to drop emojis. Thank you so much, Superfish. Does anybody agree with me in that if they own Walker, they're a little bit holding their breath? And there's a little bit of a vibe that volume and the touchdowns have been very, very amazing, but the volume's been a little bit holding your breath concerning type. Would I trade Walker for Achane? Maybe. Would I try and get more? Abso-freaking-lutely. Because Walker's playing like a baller. You could sell Walker above Achane. Achane's playing amazing, but Walker's been consistent all year. And so that's how I feel about that. But yeah, Superfish is just dropping gifted memberships left and right. Appreciate you, Superfish. Thank you so much. Bryson, Swift for Achane. I would rather have Achane. Hall and Pickens for Achane. I would rather have Swift than Hall and Pickens. So trade Hall and Pickens for Achane first if you can, Bryson. Yes, that's an affirmative on both those, but try and keep Swifty if you can. Team is Burrow, Love, Walker, Demont, Madison. Okay. Was offered Daniel Jones, Pierce, Ridley, and Pitts for my love, Madison, Wilson, and Laporta. You're running the risk of Burrow being your quarterback, and Danny Dimes is nothing. So you're playing with fire. But do I like what you're doing here? Offer Daniel Jones, Pierce, Ridley. You're getting Ridley for Garrett Wilson, Laporta. I'd rather have Garrett Wilson, Laporta, and Love. I'm sorry, because I'm starting Love right now, and Laporta's playing amazing. Garrett Wilson could still be solid. It's tempting for me to go get Ridley, but that owner could sell Ridley a lot cheaper. I think you're going at it in a crazy way. Maybe trade Love alone. Love alone for Ridley. I think that's doable. Or Burrow alone for Ridley. Hey, Smitty, I have someone in my league wanting to give me Mike Evans and James Conner for JT. Look, with Mike Evans kind of banged up, and I know Connor's been playing great and all, but I'm going to keep JT. I'm going to roll that dice. I'm not getting rid of JT. Not when you've waited this long, bro. There's definitely risk involved. You know, could they not elevate him to the active roster? I'm refreshing Twitter and trying to make sure we have all this. He's supposed to practice on Wednesday, so we should hear more tomorrow. But it's definitely a concern that they could try and screw with him there. The brass doesn't really want him, I guess, out there on the field at times, it seems. But maybe it all gets worked out. They're playing well. They might say, hey, we're going to dominate if we get this man on the field. 566 people watching right now and only 114 thumbs up. Can you guys punch that thumb up button for me? Those are rookie numbers. I traded Mahomes and Bijan for Etienne, Nico, and Justin Fields and Brandon Ayuk. What do you think? I'd rather have Mahomes and Bijan. I know you got a lot of talent, but I don't know that I trust Fields fully yet. I do like what I saw, but I'm being optimistic and also cautious at the same time. He's got a great schedule, so I do think Fields is going to probably rebound. Etienne is a little concerning volume-wise, and it just feels like that thing could go south. I'm trading Etienne for Achane. I'm trading Etienne for Eckler. I'm trading Etienne and something for Eckler in a millisecond. I'm not saying I'm panicked on Etienne and Walker entirely, but I just get a vibe that I need to tell my community, if you have a chance to get rid of Walker and Etienne on the high, it seems smart. On the high. I'm not saying don't hold. I'm not saying we won't celebrate this man's name every time he scores and continues to do well. But I do feel like it might be time to cash in on these tickets that we so aggressively thought would be worth what they're worth right now. And sometimes adjust and adapt season means we turn not away from the players we loved going into the year, but we just recognize that they're doing well and Eckler's there for the taking. And if you could trade Etienne for Eckler, you got to do it. You know, if you got to give up Nico Collins, you do it. I have Jordan Love as my number one QB. Okay, well, Axe, I don't think you made any mistakes. I would rather Mahomes and Bijan. Smitty, my St. Brown and Brees too much to give away for Waddle and Achane. No, I think that's an acceptable move. I think you could go either way. I don't think you blasted him, but he needs Hall to do well and get some sort of turnaround going before he can say he's hanging with you on this trade. Also, we like Christian Watson or Brees at the flex this week. Christian Watson right now. But Brees Hall could get on his horse, and I'm still buying low on Hall. I'm still buying low on Gibbs. I think, you know, the big difference between those guys now and before is that any league where I have them, it sucks, and I'm holding. But any league where I don't have them, I'm going and getting them. And you can laugh all you want. You can call Brees Hall names. You can say that Gibbs is trash, and that's fine. And maybe they will be. But I'm going to buy them low because they still have the talent that I assessed. My assessment on their talent wasn't off. My assessment on their situation or their situation changing Brees Hall, it wasn't his. Look, we assess Brees Hall properly. I don't care what anybody says that comes in here and says you missed on Brees Hall this year, whatever. Brees Hall looks phenomenal coming off his ACL tear. We nailed the assessment properly. The ACL recovery, nothing's wrong with Brees Hall. He looks fantastic. We can't help that Aaron Rodgers tore his Achilles tendon in the fourth play of the game in week 1. And that derailed everything. It derailed everything for Garrett Wilson. It derailed everything for Brees Hall. That's the risk we take by buying into two players from one team at the level we bought into those guys at. And I think Brees could be amazing, but I'm buying him at every turn, and I'm holding him. Any league I have him in, it sucks. It is what it is. But I will buy Brees Hall and Jahmyr Gibbs on the low in every league I can. Bijan, Gibbs, Walker, and Ford as running backs, Kupp, Waddle, wide receivers. I got offered Ridley, Pierce, and Flowers, giving up Gibbs, Waddle, and Ford. So Pierce, Ridley, Flowers. I'd probably rather have. That's pretty even. I'd rather have Ridley over Waddle slightly. I like Waddle a lot right now as a buy low. I think Gibbs and Pierce are very, even in terms of future Gibbs versus now Pierce, but Pierce is safer now. Flowers is probably better than Ford. It's pretty even, man. I trust your gut on this one. I probably lean toward the Ridley side a little bit, but that's just a tiny bit. It could go in a week. I could change my mind on that. For sure. Forrest Gump runs faster than Brees Hall. Okay, Windingo. Now you just lost everyone's respect in the chat. Before it was funny. Now it's like, what's Windingo even saying? A.J. Brown, Higgins, Kirk, Bijan, Swift, Kamara, Monty, Achane, Stevenson. Trade Monty, Kamara, Kirk for Ridley, Barkley, Breda. I don't know. I don't want to trade Monty or Kamara, and Barkley is injured. We don't know how good he'll be coming back. And, I like Ridley, but no, I'm not acquiring Barkley. I'm not acquiring Barkley anywhere. I'm only trading Barkley away. Barkley is only a trade away from me. He's not an acquire. Have to drop one, Dotson or Kincaid. I'd probably drop Kincaid if you can monitor him and just wait. You got Laporta, so you don't necessarily need him, but I like both those players longer term. I don't know what's in store for him now. Kincaid is getting work. It's probably going to increase. So hang tight on that if you feel like you be much better off holding the backup tight end than you don't think you'll ever use Dotson. But Dotson did score, showed some signs of life. 2-2, my team. Thank you, Vamp. Appreciate you. QB Burrow love Party. Purdy? Is that what we're calling Purdy now? Running back Bijan Walker, Charbonnet, Javonte, Roshan, St. Brown, Olave. It's a good team. Ayuk, Ferguson. You're pretty set. I don't know that I'm moving much. Maybe I'm trying to get into a Jalen Hurts somehow, some way. Using McLaurin's pop-off game. Maybe using Ayuk. Would I trade Ayuk or McLaurin? Or McLaurin and Dobbs with the quarterback to get Jalen Hurts, to get a quarterback that's struggling? Do I try and get Mahomes using McLaurin? McLaurin, a quarterback, and Ayuk. I don't think you'll get him, but you could probably get Jalen Hurts. Past that, pretty good team. Rock out. I don't know that I do much other than maybe the Walker, Charbonnet, Eckler move, but that's not for everybody. And I don't want you to trade away Walker if you're feeling like Walker is going to continue to do it all season long. And I think he can, and I love Walker, but I just think there are some moves that are worth making right now, especially if you need to take a little bit of a swing. Punch that thumb up button. 576 people in here. Only 174 thumbs up. Appreciate you. Half PPR got offered Eckler, Ridley, and London for my AJB, Metcalf, and Kenneth Walker. I take the Eckler, Ridley, and London side by a hair. But very close. Very close. And again, it's because of the Eckler side that I like so much right now. And Walker and Eckler both have a bye, so they're both going to be bye week free going forward. But that's pretty even. I think either way you went, you can't tell either side to take a lap. Julian Smitty, I'm in a tough spot. I only have Kincaid at tight end, Komet, Ferguson on waivers, trying to grab one. Drop Kincaid or Quentin Johnston. I guess I drop Kincaid for now. It sounds like because Ferguson and Komet are both on waivers, your waiver wire allows a lot of tight ends to sit on the waiver wire. Because those guys shouldn't be available in almost any bigger league. So the fact that both are means that Kincaid might stay out there. Just monitor him, because if his uptick in usage, kicks into high gear, you want to be the guy that grabs him. Waiver wire, Spears, Dotson, Michael Wilson, McLaughlin. Do I drop Charbonnet? No, you don't drop Charbonnet. He's on the... Did you watch the waiver wire show, Tyler? Did you watch the waiver wire show, Tyler? He's got league-winning potential here, Charbonnet. So freeze frame this real quick. But, I don't think JSN's worth much right now. I think I monitor him. I try and hold him if I can. I think he's still got league-winning potential eventually. But right now, they're not using him. He needs an injury probably to even become relevant. But I do think he's so talented that if he gets into a position, he could help win a league. But I think right now, if he doesn't get into that spot, if Lockett stays healthy, if DK stays healthy, both guys are capable of getting banged up more than I think some of other players. I mean, Lockett's older. DK is very rough on his body, and he gets hit really hard. He gets hung up a lot because people are trying to take him out at the below the waist, because this guy's hard to tackle up top. So there's definitely some opportunity for JSN to get the nod to start, and then that's when everybody's racing to the waiver wire. But he's droppable for right now. Just make sure you're on top of that. I also got Garrett Wilson, Pickens, Watson, Hall, Nakua Ridley. Yeah, so probably okay at wide receiver. So Tyler, that's probably what I'd say for now. But JSN is somebody that I find it really hard to like give up on, and it saddens me when people are writing him off already. Not Kwani, appreciate you with the $10 hauler. Appreciate you very much, my man. Dropping that 2-2. AR5 and Love at QB, ETN, AK, JT, Achane. You got great running backs. Wide receiver, Sun God, Ridley, Waddle. Great wide receivers. Kincaid. I have to drop one to activate JT. Who do you drop? Probably dropping, if I have to on this list, man, it's between Judy and Bigsby. It's between Judy and Bigsby. That's your only choice. I mean, I guess you've got very strong running backs. You've got really decent wide receivers. Part of me wants you to trade, do a 2-for-1 somehow. I don't know how you would do that, but I think Bigsby's league winning, and so I'm not dropping Bigsby. So I would probably drop Judy in this situation. Very, very, very tough call, though. I mean, anything can happen. Injuries can open the door for any of those guys. So, monitor them. Stay on top of it. This one right here, Aaron, 12-team full PPR inbox offer being offered Jamison Williams and Okonkwo for my Zay Flowers. No. Zay Flowers is better than Jamison Williams, I think. Especially this week, he's going to do really well. Okonkwo's nothing. Ferguson's going nuts. No, absolutely not. I'm rebuilding in this league. So you're in a dynasty league. You got to tell me that. That definitely helps, Aaron. But I would definitely still say Flowers. Ferguson looks okay. I'm still going Flowers. I don't know that Jameson's proven enough to us that we can trust him as some sort of for sure dynasty monster that we got to hold. And I like him. He's got a lot of upside, but so does Flowers. Flowers is in a dynasty league too. They're in the same league. Brady and Rodney, $20 haulers. Thanks again, Aaron. $20 haulers from both of you. We're going to bunk bed style this $20 hauler. Dollar bills to the left go to Rodney. To the right go Brady.
Alert. Super chat alert.
Appreciate both you gentlemen. Rodney, I traded Fields and DJ Moore for Cook. I'm assuming James Cook and Jordan Love. That could go either way because it's the running back you got, but I have CJ Stroud and Kyler Murray on the bench. Now my team is CJ Stroud, JT, Cooks, or James Cook, Diggs, Lockett, Dell. I also have Javonte on the bench. I don't know if I love the trade because DJ Moore still is very good, but at the end of the day, bro, I do believe James Cook is a good move for you. I would still maybe shop and try and flip James Cook. I don't think it was a bad trade. I'm not saying that. I don't know how I feel about it. And what's the chat think on this? Would you rather have had Fields and DJ Moore, or would you rather have Love and James Cook? Stroud, he wants to start Stroud anyway, which is why I think you probably, Rodney, forced yourself to trade Fields so you don't have a dilemma, which I understand. I guess it just depends on how good James Cook is. So I'm interested to know if the chat loves the James Cook love side because they like you getting James Cook. I think it was not a bad move at all. I just would maybe shop James Cook and try and get into that Aaron Jones territory, who played very badly. Brady says, well deserved for winning me my fantasy league. We're going to repeat 4-0 so far. Thank you, Brady. Appreciate you dropping the super chat. Love, Cook, Justice, Love and Cook side easily. Love and Cook side, Love and Cook side. Okay, so the chat agrees with it, Brady. Or not Brady. Who was that? Rodney. The chat likes the Love and Cook side. It's a close call. It's a close call. Again, I don't think any one of you crush the other, but getting the RB helps you. And everyone loves Stroud right now, so I think everyone's okay with you starting Stroud. The majority of the chat likes your side. There's a couple of Fields more sides, but thank you, Rodney, and continue to maybe try and move James Cook. Try and offer him for Achane. See if you can get it done. DJ Meat Missile, 11 month membership special. He drops it, says, appreciate you, Smitty. Thank you, DJ Meat Missile, for dropping your 11-month anniversary message on that. Appreciate you very much. Love and Cook side. Jones only got 5 carries. Yeah, Rush, and that's why we're buying low, right? We're buying low on Aaron Jones, and we're doing it now. We're doing it rapid fire. Buy low on Aaron Jones. Do it live. Brady with a $20 hauler and the other message. Appreciate you, Brady. What's up, Smitty? 12-man league, 0.5 PPR. Mahomes, JJ, Ayuk, Ramondre, Kyron, Ferguson. With Evans out, who do I start? Flowers, Tutu, Akers, Warren, or Mike Wilson? With Evans, start Flowers, Tutu. I'm gonna go Flowers, bro. I think Flowers has a good game. I think he has a good game here. I know he's kind of been a little disappointing because he felt like he was going to pop off, and he kind of hasn't yet. I think Flowers has a big game. I think it's a good matchup for him. I do kind of like Michael Wilson still, or I like him a lot, but as a play here and risking it. But I think Flowers is the safer play, in my opinion. And thank you so much for your super chat, your $20 hauler. Appreciate you. Brady is the man. $10 hauler there. That moonshot for you, pal. Smitty, QB position is killing me. I'm 1-3 and putting up good points. My QBs are Burrow and Geno. Love and Stroud are available on waivers. Well, you got to grab Stroud and Love. You got to grab both of them. I would probably keep Burrow if you could. Drop Geno for Love or Stroud, and then pick up Love or Stroud, the other one, and drop somebody else. You got it in your situation, being that you're struggling at QB. Why not grab both of them if you can? You might not be that lucky. Someone will probably grab Stroud, but grab one of them for sure and start them this week. I traded Collins and Zach Moss for Mostert and Gabe Davis. Okay, and then flipped them for Pat Mahomes and Breece Hall. How do you flip Mostert and Gabe Davis for Mahomes and Breece Hall? Yeah, his name's Jacinto, and he committed fantasy football robbery. Yeah, Mahomes and Breece Hall for Gabe Davis and Mostert. I know he's injury prone. That's what I told him. He'll be here for another 5 minutes, I think. You got 5 minutes, Jacinto. I'm giving you a little lead time. Avito police are on their way. Unbelievable. Walker for Achane and Gibbs. I would take Achane and Gibbs. I would. And look, I'm rolling the dice a little bit. I get it. But I think he's the real deal. These numbers tell me he's getting used. Week 4, 47% of the attempts. Week 4, 66% of the snaps. Week 4, 68% of the routes. Getting Gibbs as well is a nice little accoutrement, a little side piece. And I don't know. Would anybody rather have Achane and Gibbs or Kenneth Walker? Drop it in the chat. Give me your vote. I wouldn't blame anybody for wanting Walker still, but it does feel like the volume is suspect, and it's just, I'm going to do a video on it. That boy, 2 QB, 3 wide receiver, 10 team. I just traded Chase and T-Law for Olave and Barkley. Team is now AR5 Stroud, JJ Olave. Okay, so T-Law and Chase for Olave, Barkley. I don't mind that. And then I flip Barkley, though. If you can flip Barkley, I really love the trade. But I think you did a good job considering. Like, you getting that is a great return, given you didn't necessarily need to use the quarterback there, and you traded away an extra quarterback. That's the recipe for how to flip in week number 4 or 5. So in this territory, a lot of struggling quarterback teams. So you did good, but I would then try to flip Barkley, go get Achane and something, go get Aaron Jones injured, go get JT, go get maybe Eckler by giving up more. Have to drop 2 out of Elijah Moore. Thank you, that boy. Elijah Moore, JSN, and Dotson. You're probably dropping Elijah Moore and JSN right now. I mean, look, Uncle Philly, those are all really close. I don't think anybody's going to say that you made a mistake by dropping 2 of those guys out of the 3, and then somebody else has a different opinion on which 2. They're all very close. I hold Dotson. He scored. That's the only reason. But both those guys, all 3 of those guys are capable of being dropped. Dotson, I just hold on to. Was offered James Cook and Dobbs for Walker. That's not enough. That's when I say trade away Walker, I mean trade away Walker for the world. That's not the world. I have CMC and Monty. Yeah, no go on that trade, John. That's a no go, Johnny boy. Stand down, Johnny. Clip says a self-destructive Diana offering me Achane and Burrow for Ridley and Stroud. I would take Achane and Burrow, and I have AR5 But by the way, still an optimistic Osborne on Ridley's upside. I think that's AR5 is what you're trying to say. ARC. AR5 is, I think, what you're saying. So if you're not starting the quarterbacks here, then it's really Achane for Ridley, and I like Achane more. It's not that I don't love Ridley. I love Ridley. I think people are overreacting on Ridley, but Achane is what this whole video is about. T-Law Walker for AR and Aaron Jones. I take AR and Aaron Jones, and I run from those veto police, Ozzy. That is an amazing trade, Ozzy. That is an amazing trade. So much so that you posted it twice, and I appreciate your $2.99 haulers. T-Law Walker for Stroud. Oh, it's different. No, is that different? That is different. T-Law Walker for Stroud and Eckler. I don't know if that was different. The Stroud and Eckler side by a mile. Thank you. I don't know if that was slightly different. My brain's already mush. Trade Chase Watson and K9 for Eckler and Bijan. I take Eckler and Bijan. Eckler and Bijan side. Trade my Chase and Watson for Bijan. I would probably take... I like the Eckler part. I'm not wanting that part removed from the trade. I think that's a good move at the end of the day, bro. That's a solid move. I think getting Eckler is solid. I think that's solid. David, you got 30 seconds, pal.
Hey, Smitty, I just wanted to run a trade that I got done today. I might have overpaid a little bit, but I did it regardless. I traded Ridley for Achane and Zay Jones, but it was I'm trying to think else who else I traded for Ridley. Puka. So I traded Puka and Ridley for Achane and Zay Jones. I'm not worried about Zay Jones. I want an Achane. I got Jordan Love.
You overpaid. You overpaid.
Coming in.
You overpaid though. Why'd you throw Puka in there? I mean, you couldn't even remember his name there.
Because he wouldn't do it. I didn't offer him that to begin with. He wouldn't do it. I tried to do it straight up. He wouldn't do it. Honestly, man, I don't trust Stafford to stay healthy.
I know, but
and I think with Cooper coming back and Stafford,
you had me, bro. You had me at the Achane for Ridley because even though I love Ridley, Achane's worth more. But the moment you're like, okay, and I threw somebody else in, it was Puka Nacua. I mean, Puka's going nuts, man. You can't throw that kind of player. It doesn't matter. But hold on, just hear me out, David. Doesn't matter what you think's going to happen. What matters is the fair market value. Even if you end up being right, you could have got a whole freaking lot more on the Achane side of this trade. So it doesn't matter what you think of Stafford. If you think Stafford's going to get hurt, then use that knowledge to then get something thrown in. But you absolutely gave up way too much.
I know I did, but I didn't offer him that right off the bat. I mean, I literally offered him two other trades that he would not accept.
That's irrelevant too, though.
I threw Ridley in there.
I know, but that's irrelevant too, though. Like I'm just trying to walk you through it. I'm not look. I love Achane, bro. I love him, but you can't. It doesn't matter what you want. Like all this is just side stuff. Like you shouldn't have given him that. You should have got something else in return. I like the Achane Ridley stuff. That is.
I still got I got Bijan as my other running back.
Also irrelevant.
I needed to make the move.
Also irrelevant. Do fair market value though. Just what did you do in this trade? You know what I mean? Like, and David, no offense. This is all learning experience for everybody too. You know, so I want you to understand that when I call it out or I'm not mad at you. You still could win the league. I'm not, you still could do well. But like whenever you start pulling in different things, well, I got this on my roster and that is irrelevant. The trade market value in this trade, you got blasted. And it doesn't matter what the reasons were. It doesn't matter if you offered it to him earlier and he wouldn't do it. That doesn't matter either. That's irrelevant. You don't go to a car dealership and buy a $40,000 car for $55,000 because he's only going to sell it to you. He wouldn't do it. He's only going to give it to me for $55,000. So I brought a $40,000 car for $55,000 because he wouldn't do it. You know what I mean, David? We all make bad trades. Yeah. This trade could very much work out for you. Let's say Stafford goes down, but that still is irrelevant because you could have got more. And if you were right about Stafford, you'd be sitting pretty with Achane and let's say another player that this guy just gave away, like Christian Watson or something. That type of player. I don't care if you have Christian Watson. I'm not going there. I'm just saying you could have got something more in this trade. You need to be more careful.
Can I run one other one that I did today by you real quick?
Very quickly, because your 30 seconds is way up. I only stayed because I had to lambaste you a little bit. But go ahead.
So he offered me. I traded Amon-Ra, ETN, Kirk, and Justin Fields.
Hold on. Let me table this one because I got so much going through my brain with all these questions. Go ahead. Give me the trade. You traded St. Brown.
I traded Amon-Ra, ETN, Christian Kirk, and Fields.
I'm already nervous for you, bro. Because you seem like you.
I'm looking at my overall roster, though.
I don't care about your overall roster, David. Stop making excuses. Hold on. David, stop making excuses for the trade. I can already tell you lost the trade because you're making excuses. Well, my overall roster doesn't matter. You got to make trades based on the fair market value. You can't worry about your roster. Go ahead, hit me with it. What did you get?
All right,
not get?
So I got Burrow, Tyreek, Saquon, and Breda.
Okay. Yeah.
So I got JJ.
You did good.
Tyreek is my two receivers.
I mean, I think you can definitely argue this one. Now, what I do is I flip Saquon. St. Brown and ETN are solid, but Hill. I'm sorry. Yeah, St. Brown and ETN are solid, but Hill and Saquon outdo that. This combination here, I'm not even that concerned about because whatever. But you gotta flip Barkley. Flip Barkley into Eckler. Flip Barkley into Aaron Jones. Flip Barkley into is this the Achane team?
No, this is a completely different league.
Yeah, maybe try and go get Achane in something, but use fair market value, bro.
All right, should I wait till after Saquon's game this weekend or try to do it before?
I mean, if the value's there, do it. If it's not, hold, yeah. Let the market value dictate it, David, like you did on the second trade. The second trade was good. The first trade you sold, but the second trade you did good. Hill's worth it. All right, bro. Appreciate you.
Yeah. All right, appreciate it, Smith.
Yeah, keep calling in. Later. All right. 30 seconds, Wes, and that's it. I'm hanging up on you.
Hey, what's going on, Smitty? Real quick. Herden at tight end, bad. Would a bad trade be Chris Godwin and James Conner for Mark Andrews?
No. I mean, Connor's got some value, bro. I mean, if you need an RB, I could understand somebody getting Connor for Andrews, and I could understand someone needing a tight end, and they got some running back depth. Go get Andrews. I'm fine with that. I'm fine with that. Those are both very even.
Okay, cool, because I got Kamara, Breeze, and Khalil Herbert on the bench.
On the bench, okay. Yeah. Kamara's
So
on
that's
your
a
bench.
fair deal?
Yeah. Go get Andrews. That's fine.
I appreciate it.
All right, later, Wes. Appreciate you. All right, back to the super chats. And if you're watching, David, I appreciate you. I don't want you to be mad at me. I'm just trying to help you, with your next trade. I just want you to remember that it doesn't matter what he doesn't want to do. Well, he wouldn't make the trade. Well, then don't trade with him. But anyway, need your wisdom. You could have traded Puka Nacua probably straight up for Achane, to be honest with you. Need your wisdom, Smitty. 10-man league PPR is Love, Walker, Gibbs, Chase, JJ, Amon-Ra, Kincaid, Bench, Burrow, Hall, London, Pickens for Dell. What are we doing here? Need your wisdom here. 10-man league. Walker, Gibbs, Chase, JJ. It's a good team. If I'm trying to move anything, it would be let's remember what I said. Don't give away Walker. I love Walker. He's been highly touted here. He's a moon man. He's been exploding all year. But I definitely feel like the best move for your team is to try and go get Austin Eckler using Walker. And if you do that, I would even try and use Hall or London or Hall and London, Dell and London, Dell and Hall to try and upgrade Love into a Jalen Hurts who's struggling. I'm not saying it's going to be easy. My two targets for you would be Eckler and also Jalen Hurts. Those would be the two players I want you to go get, kind of buying on the cheap. Chase is a player I would trade away if the price was right, i.e. going after a Achane and Devontae Smith who's struggling for a Jamar Chase, doing combinations like that. Chase needs to get you 2 players, though. You need to get 2 players. It cannot be 1 player. I'm not saying trade Chase for Devontae Smith straight up. I'm saying go get a struggling Waddle or Devontae Smith for Chase and get that extra Achane type player thrown in. We just saw a guy give up Puka Nacua as if he was nothing. So it's definitely doable, even though a lot of people think, oh, that trade doesn't happen in my league. Well, it happens all the time. Even live on the show, you hear it. So let's try not to pretend bad trades don't happen. Higgins, Khalil Herbert for Swift and JSN. Higgins is injured. I'm taking Swift all day. This guy's a top 10 running back. He had a good game last week, scoring a touchdown, and because he didn't have 150 yards, everybody's all of a sudden acting like he's not a top 10 running back. Jamar Chase and Stevenson for Olave and Pollard. I take Olave and Pollard and I run. Stevenson lives in the panic chamber. Tyler with a $10 hauler. Tyler, appreciate your 10 watt on screen. Your record's 3-1. Non-PPR got offered Eckler and Amari Cooper for Pollard and Debo. That one's a little harder for me to do. I like Eckler a lot in terms of trading for now, not drafting. But, Debo is very intriguing to me still. But I think I go Eckler, Amari Cooper here. Pollard is another guy that are we trading Pollard high too? Are we trading Eckler? I'm sorry, are we trading Pollard and Kenneth Walker high? I just have this vibe. I love Pollard. Pollard's fantastic. I'm not selling him low, but am I interested in trading Pollard and Walker right now more than I should be? Just because I feel like the offenses concern me. The workload concerns me. The way the offenses matriculate the football down the field concerns me. Having to survive off big yardage games for Pollard or big touchdown games for Walker makes me want to go get Austin Eckler. And so I kind of feel like the Eckler-Cooper side's safer. Would I try and flip Cooper into a type of wide receiver like Devontae Smith or somebody I just trust a little bit more? And I know a lot of people might say that's crazy given how good Amari Cooper's played this year and this and that, but do what you want with the Amari Cooper side. If you want to keep him, but I do think I try and flip him, but I think I take that Austin Eckler side, but that's really, really tough. It's a close call. You could argue to either side. Nobody's ripping the other side off, and there's a lot of uncertainties that might change, as we move into next week where I start saying I like the other side a lot better. Currently 3-1, 12-team league, PPR, AR5, Purdy, Bijan, Gibbs, Brees, Javonte at running back. I'm on Ross St. Brown, A.J. Brown, Watson, Judy, JSN, Ferguson, Musgrave. Do I stay firm? You got a great quarterback. You got a solid, amazing running back 1 in Bijan. Don't listen to haters. And you've got question marks at your running back 2 with Gibbs and Brees. And you're probably starting, I don't know which one you start this week. We'll have to play that by ear. Javonte right now is nothing right now. Your wide receivers are to the moon. I don't know that you can make any trades, to be honest. There's nothing you can do unless you wait for Watson. AJB sellable, I guess, if you wanted to maybe upgrade. Let's say you were to target Achane, right? You give up Brees or Gibbs for Achane, and in exchange for that bump, you're going from A.J. Brown down to what wide receiver do they have? From a Devontae Smith, Ridley, Olave, Waddle range only. Like 2-for-2 type of move might be good for you. 600 600 people in here and only 211 thumbs up. Punch that thumb up button. Appreciate you. Alex with I don't know what the conversion is on this, but appreciate you, Alex. Jalen Hurts, Bijan, K9, A.J. Brown, CeeDee Lamb, Ingram, Puka, Pierce, Pickens, Charbonnet. What do you think of my team? I think your team is solid. I think it's a hold. I don't think I trade anything. There are a bunch of players that are popping off on this team and a couple players that, like Hurts and Bijan that can play way better. I'm sitting there. I don't try and move anything. I mean, if you could flip Puka for, unlike what that caller did, you go flip Puka for Achane and something, then I maybe do it. Past that, you got to wait and hold. He's playing out of his mind. Somebody will give you a top 5 wide receiver for Puka. Someone will give you a top 6 to 10 running back and a wide receiver that might be underrated, like Christian Watson for Puka. So other than that, you're standing firm on that. That team's winning for a reason, right? You gotta hang tough on that. And what was your record? Did you say what your record was? You didn't say what your record was, but you have to have 3 wins. That team is great. If you don't, you're going to you're going to start winning. Smitty traded for K9, Waddle, and Aaron Jones. Try and put this in the super chat, Thomas, because then I got to go search for the old super chat. It doesn't help me at all at this point to say something like that. I have no idea what we're talking about. So, Thomas, next time, try and put it in there if you don't mind, pal. Just a little tiny itty-bitty request. Let's go here. 10-team full PPR. Just got offered first. CJ. Let's see here. Just got my first win. Sorry. K9 week 2. Kincaid. Smitty traded for K9, Waddle, and Aaron Jones. Okay. Aaron Jones, Warren, Amon-Ra, Waddle. I like your team, pal. Kincaid for Komet. Yeah, I don't think that changes anything I said, but I appreciate you, Thomas. And again, consider trading K9 right now for Eckler somehow, some way, Thomas. Appreciate you very much. Thomas to the freaking moon. Thomas has been dropping super chats and been a big part of this show for some time, and I think Thomas deserves a standing ovation.
Mashed potatoes.
We got to decide if someone drops like the $100 hauler, maybe we ring that bell no matter what time of night it is. I got to talk this over with Miss Smitty, but that bell gives you like a migraine and a headache, but it's so loud. Let me see if I can cover my ears and ring it. Hold on. Okay, ready? I'm going to ring the bell. Yeah, I don't know if you guys can hear that, how loud that is. It gives a freaking migraine. But, you know, if someone does drop a $100 hauler, I think even if it's in the middle of the night, maybe we ring the bell. I'm not sure. I even cover my ears. It was very, very faint, but I still feel a headache coming on. It's the vibration of that bell. It's a massive bell. We used to ring it every time we got a super chat when the show first started, but we can't do that now. Every time we'd ring that bell, it was absolutely crazy. I don't know about clip messages. Sorry, Smitty, I don't know how to clip messages. Not clip messages, just like in the super chat, remind me of everything if you could. It's not a big problem, Thomas. You're super chatting so much, like, who am I to complain? Love the bell. Yeah, any $100 haulers will get a ring of the bell, maybe. I'll talk to Miss Smitty about it. At least she'll be like, what does that sound? Oh, that was $100. Okay. Go, honey, you can go buy some makeup or a handbag. Should I trade away Walker for Gibbs and Christian Watson? No, don't do that, Will. That's not the idea of selling Walker the way that I'm trying to describe it. That man loses 50 viewers every time the bell rings. That was loud. We didn't, actually, bro. That bell is so loud. It is so loud. Okay, so was it really that loud for all of you? Because it's so loud for me. It's crazy. The bell's insane. Trade away AR5. It's not 15. It doesn't wear the number 15 anymore. AR5 plus Pittman for Jamar Chase. Or Love and Christian Watson for Waddle. Do that one. And I love Christian Watson enough to where, like, you don't have to do that trade. I think Watson's going to be unbelievable. But if you want to take the gamble on Waddle, I'm fine with that. I think that's the good trade. Don't trade AR5. AR5 is going absolutely berserk, bro. And he's so amazing. He's such a good, talented quarterback. When he gets better, it's going to be unbelievable. Like, when he starts throwing more accurate, this guy can throw a 60-yard pass, just both feet on the ground. It's just unbelievable. Offer James Cook and Dobbs for Walker. I don't mind that buying of Walker. And then maybe you flip him for Eckler, but I don't mind that. Buying Walker is okay if you're buying at that value. I have CMC Montgomery. Good offer. I think it's a good offer. If you pull that off, I just don't know why the Walker owner would do that. You know what I'm saying? And I think we got another $20 hauler I didn't put up yet. Whose is this? This is Lego. Lego coming in with a, I feel like, for some reason, I feel like these two are friends. You know, The Dark Knight and we got Lego Batman on the same screen at the same time, just ironically. They might have just become best friends. Bunk beds for life. 1999 hauler from Lego, just giving a moonshot because he's such a monster. Lego, you still here? I'm sorry I didn't see this until right now. $20 hauler.
Super chat alert.
Lego Monster, appreciate you, Lego. I'm going to put you on the screen here for a minute because you're the definition of glory on this channel. Lego is such a generous person. Daniel, welcome to the YouTube exclusive memberships. Daniel just signed up on the YouTube exclusive memberships. He now has a green name and all the emojis. Trade Chase Swift, love for Adams and Eckler. Chase Swift and love, absolutely. That's a smash. That's a got him trade. That's a got him trade if I've ever seen it. Lego to the freaking moon. Lego to the freaking moon. Bunk beds for life. Look it. Let's go. Dark Knight and Lego. These guys work together to keep the streets safe. Thank you for your super chat, Dark Knight. This one right here, laughing. Appreciate you. 10-man league, half PPR, Lamar. $10 hauler, by the way.
To the moon.
Gets a moonshot, so 15 qualifies, obviously. Thank you so much. 2 wide receivers, PPR, 1 flex, Lamar, Henry, Achane, Ford, Warren, Spears, Roshan, Debo, Waddle, Olave. Love those wide receivers. Achane, fantastic. I'm trading Henry on the high. Guy offered me Andrews for Debo, but now he wants more. They're even, man. Don't let Debo's bad game where he played. I looked at the stats after, and Debo Samuel played more snaps than any of the other wide receivers. He just had a really bad game, but he ran the football. He was on the field. I don't think he was a decoy of any kind because he ran more snaps than any of the other wide receivers on the team. But I don't sell Debo low. I think Waddle and Debo's fair. Would I give up something else like Kyle Pitts? Who cares about Kyle Pitts? Would I give up a Warren or maybe a Ford? I suppose if you want to make this deal really happen, I'm okay with that. But I don't know that I do anything else. I'm trading Henry if I'm you. I'm going and getting a player. I don't know who you would start at running back, so you kind of have to go after an RB. God, I don't know. Something along the lines, let's go to the buy list. Something along the lines of maybe you're getting a Hall or Gibbs and taking the chance, or a Swift or an ETN using Henry, and somehow, some way get something extra thrown in. Like the way I envision it is you go and find the Christian Watson owner who's got some RB like ETN or Aaron Jones, and Henry can get you Aaron Jones injured, not playing well, comes back, doesn't have a good game, guy's very down on him, and Watson. Or Taylor straight up, and you take the gamble on it. Or Aaron Jones straight up, and you take the gamble on it for Henry. But try and get something else. Those are the kind of moves I would make with the Henry, sell high Henry situation. Thank you very much, Laughing, for the super chat. Trent coming in with a strong one. Be Real Dynasty sent me. Kyron Jacobs got Adams first. Trent, I don't know what you're even saying. What kind of language are we speaking here? Be Real Dynasty sent Kyron. What am I going to be, fake? Are you asking me to be honest? Dynasty, I sent Kyron and Jacobs got Adams. I like the Adams in a first right now if you're in win mode. If you're not in win mode, it's still pretty even because Jacobs is not somebody that I love long term, but Kyron's nice. But the first rounder is nice, and Adams is someone I don't love long term. So it's pretty even Steven. But I think Adams in a first really maybe is a nice move because Adams is equivalent to Kyron, and maybe Kyron and Jacobs, or at least equivalent to Kyron, and then you get the first rounder to help for your future. So I don't think it was a bad move whatsoever. I don't know that it was an absolute smash on either side, though. It's not like one of you won the trade. It was a pretty even move. Thank you for your super chat. $5 hauler, my Kamara and Cooper for his chase. No, absolutely not. Look, Cooper, as much as I gave him Shiat in the offseason, is hanging, playing better than Jamar Chase. And I'm not giving up Kamara. Kamara for Chase straight up would be an arguable move for someone that came to me and said, Smitty, get me out of Jamar Chase. I don't trust it. I would say, Kamara. Go get Kamara, as Lego Batman would say. Would you move K9 and Swift for Eckler and Achane?
You've just been Smitty.
Of course I would. K9 and Swift for Eckler and Achane. That's a dream come true trade, Benji. Go do it live. Jay, drop Roshan, Warren, or Spears for Jameson. Look, if you need a wide receiver badly, you could go Warren. The offense is so vanilla over there in Pittsburgh. As much as I do think Warren could be something, it's like how good can anyone be in that offense right now? Trade away Olave and Amari and Saquon for Eckler Watson. Amari, Olave, Saquon for Eckler Watson. That's a bit much. I would say try and scale that back or get something thrown in. I don't think Eckler and Watson is a fair enough return, even though I love Eckler way more than Saquon. Olave and Amari are balling out, on the season. So I think you need to scale that back, take one of those wide receivers off, or add something insignificant. That's way too much. What's up, bro? I like the thinking, though, and I like the direction, and I still pursue it. What's up, bro? And offer full PPR my Derrick Henry and Olave for his Swift Cup in London. I would say this is very arguable. Look, Henry, I don't trust him. Swift, I'd rather have Swift than Henry. But let's call it even because Henry had a big game, and it's Olave versus Cup, and you get London. I guess I lean Swift Cup of London side, but there is risk involved. Like if Cup doesn't come back or if he comes back and gets hurt, you're in trouble. But you're rolling the dice for a reason. You like the dice roll, do it. If you got anxiety, don't do it. Would you rather have Devontae Smith and Debo or St. Brown and Christian Watson? I would rather have St. It's even. Ian, this is another even Steven trade. Let's ask the audience here. What do we think here, guys? What do we think here? Are we going with Debo and Devontae Smith or St. Brown and Christian Watson? I kind of lean toward Christian Watson and Debo are very, very equivalent to me. They're very, very equivalent to me. Can we get a vote on the St. Brown side? St. Brown side. Later, Rush. Appreciate you, pal. St. Brown side. St. Brown side. St. Brown side. There you go. St. Brown side. I mean, Ian, I would listen to the group on that one. That's a very close one. P Slick, there's a super chat for $2 with no question attached. Please always attach your question to the super because by the time I get to it, there's no way your other comments are anywhere nearby. 10. I'll go look for it after this though. I'll try and find it.
To the
Super
moon.
chat $10 hauler from my boy Michael. Michael, 12 team PPR, 2 flex, 1 and 3 Hertz, Kyron, Connor, JT, JJ, Olave. That's a great team. Dobbs, Puka, Addison. We got a $20 hauler incoming from Dudley. Dudley, I'm coming for you. Should I shake it up and trade JJ for like Bijan, St. Brown, or stay put? I don't mind getting Bijan and St. Brown for JJ, but the question will be, is your team good enough to win now, let's say? I don't know. I like your team. Look, Kyron, JT, JJ, Olave, and Hurts, you could almost win this league. I'd probably hold JJ if I'm you, just because your team is so fire. You know what? I would maybe tell somebody that's struggling to make the move and get St. Brown and Bijan. But JJ's fire right now, and I don't know that you need to do that trade. Am I right, guys? Because wouldn't Christian Watson have gone to your bench? You got Puka. You got, Justin Watson. Or is that Christian Watson? You wrote it wrong. I don't know. You got Puka, Addison. No, bro. You keep JJ. I keep JJ. Your running backs are strong. It's really good, bro. P Slick coming in with another super chat. Actually, P Slick came in and dropped one right after he dropped this one. Thank you, P Slick. I'm giving you a standing O for dropping double super chats. Love your channel, Smitty. I watch on the daily. All this guy wanted to do was drop 2 super chats. 1 super chat, drop 2, just to get a standing O, and he's going to get it.
Mashed potatoes.
Thank you, P Slick. The show loves you back, pal, more than you know. The show loves you more than you love it. I can guarantee you that. Michael Vaughn, keep JJ. I'm pretty sure the chat will say JJ. If he's getting JJ, then no, he's got JJ. Appreciate you, Michael, with the super chat. But your team's just fire. You got plenty there. You don't need to be making those moves. Your team's already ready to go. Flipper with a $2 hauler, sending Jamar Chase and Stevenson for Aaron Jones and Amon-Ra. Yes, I will take Aaron Jones and Amon-Ra. That's easy peasy stuff. Work for what you want. 12-team.5, traded Love. Gus Edwards, who cares? Dalvin, who cares? Palmer, who cares? For Gabe Davis, Mitchell, who cares? Latavius Murray, who cares? I don't know. Work for what you want. I'm not saying I don't care about your trade. I hope that didn't come off wrong. I'm just saying those players. Love for Gabe Davis is what this comes down to. Maybe Palmer is relevant and whatever. That's a tough one. I would say if you need a quarterback, which you don't necessarily need one, you maybe need a wide receiver. Gabe Davis helps you. Traded Love for. I don't mind this trade. I think Gabe Davis is playing pretty well. I think it's a pretty even Steven trade. No harm, no foul, my guy. You did good there. Work for what you want. You worked for what you want, and you got it. 10-man, 2 flex, 1 PPR, trading Addison, James Cook. That trade just made me took the wind out of my sails. It's like a bunch of no names in a trade. We got to see something bigger. Work for what you want. Give me something more monstrous next time. I want a big trade. Big trade. Work for what you want. Appreciate you, but I do like the Gabe Davis move. Trading Addison, James Cook, Ford for Waddle and Rachaad White. I would take Waddle and Rachaad White, but then I flip Rachaad White to try and counterbalance losing James Cook. So I think that was good. JT on IR thoughts. I like your team a lot. AR5, Cup, JT. You're ready to rumble. Tua. You might trade maybe Tua or AR5, assuming this isn't super flex. You said 2 flex, but not super flex. If it's super flex, don't trade Tua or AR5. But you might want to trade one of those quarterbacks. You might not even need to. Your team's really good, but maybe Rachaad White and one of the quarterbacks to get an upgraded runner or something like that. J Fam coming in with a strong one. Traded Henry, Olave, T Law for Hurts, Keenan Allen. Yeah. That's a good move. You did a good job. J Fam, I Smitty approve.
You've just been
Smitty approved. J Fam coming in strong. Let me see. Keep Monty. Let's see here. Chris Olave and Anthony Richardson for their Montgomery. Keep Anthony Richardson and Olave. That's too much. Novus is too much. How can you get Jerome Ford, James? I don't know that he's going to be that easy or that hard to get. I think he's pretty cheap. He's like maybe offer a ham sandwich, maybe a TV dinner. Start D. Henry or Swift. I'm going to probably go. I don't know. That's a toss-up. Chat, what do you think? Let's answer that question for Mark in the chat. I'm trying to answer some of the chat questions, too. I know you guys want me to do that from time to time, and I'm sorry. I'm so bogged down. I'm doing my best. Who can I get for Jerome Ford? I mean, that guy wants him. That he just asked a question about it, so maybe you guys can work something out. I mean, Jerome Ford, Christian Watson, if you're lucky, you can get a Christian Watson for Jerome Ford. QBs here, Fields or Love, running backs. Let's see here. QBs, Fields or Love, running backs. Aaron Jones, Gainwell, Akers, Dalvin Cook, wide receivers, JJ, Sun God, Lamb. I was offered K9 for my Lamb. K9's a guy that I'm torn on in terms of acquiring, and Lamb I'm torn on in terms of keeping or acquiring, but I do buy low on Lamb. He's on the buy low list. I feel like Lamb is a fantastic go-get, but if you own him, you are a little concerned. Like, there's just a different vantage point from where the cost of entry. So, given your running backs don't feel like crazy good, well, I would say take K9. You kind of need K9 DJ, but then I do flirt with the idea of turning K9 into Eckler, as I've been talking about all show. $10 hauler from my boy Alex coming in strong. Alex Real Estate. I left this part out of my Geno Burrow question. My bad, Smitty. I can only roster 2 QBs, 1 starting and 1 on the bench. I have Burrow, Geno. Drop them for Love and Stroud. I'd probably say would you guys rather have Love or Burrow if you were starting Stroud? Pick up Stroud and start him. Let's see what the chat says on that. I still think dropping Burrow is really hard for me, but it could be the nostalgia kicking in. And I think Burrow's going to be fantastic in the future, but this year is just the way it is what it is. You know, he's injured, and it's clearly showing in the team's off kilter. But will Burrow get on track, and could he erase everybody's horrible memories? Easily. But Love is on pace for 40 touchdowns total. Love over Burrow. Love right now. Love. There you go. Love. Stroud, obviously, one Burrow vote. I guess because it's a 1 QB league, Julian Hill, or whoever that was, I think it was Alex, he'll be available so you can pick him up again, you know. But go get Love, go get Stroud. Get Stroud before Love. Get either one of them, though. For Ferguson, Kmet, would you drop JSN or Quentin Johnson or Kincaid? I'd pick up Kmet before Ferguson personally, but they're very close. And I would take either one, yes, over probably JSN right now because JSN doesn't have an ample amount of opportunities, and so I cut him for now. Kincaid's interesting. If you think he'll be available and nobody will pick him up, then I guess you could drop Kincaid and hold JSN. But either way, hey, Smitty got offered Ridley, Kamara, D-Hop for my Pollard and Olave. I'd rather have Ridley, Kamara. Well, that's pretty even, man. That's pretty even. The Hopkins side makes you want to like lean that direction, but what is Hopkins? You know, what is Hopkins even? I look up Hopkins' stats, and it's like, it's crazy. You know, that team is so. What did Hopkins even finish with last week? It was something like decent. It was 4 for 63. I probably lean. God, chat. You leaning Olave side, or are you leaning Ridley side on this one? Kamara, Ridley, Hopkins, or Pollard, Olave? I guess, you know, Pollard, Olave. By a hair. Very, very close. Very, very close. That's a tough one. Let's see what the chat votes. The chat overrules me on this one because I'm just sitting there, hovering over the button, not sure. I have Bijan, Gabe McLaurin for London and Algier. I don't mind that. London and Algier is not bad for that return. I don't think that was a bad trade. Eckler for Pollard. I'd rather have Eckler. I'm afraid of Pollard's volume. I'd rather have Eckler. Eckler for sure. Olave side. Looks like the Olave side won. There's a couple Ridley votes. $10 hauler from Ryan. Appreciate you, Ryan, for dropping this one. Made a bad trade early and trying to recover from it. Need your help. I have AR5, Pollard, Ford, Puka, Olave, Tutu, Nico, and small bench is Fields, Lennon, Hall, and Akers. Wanted to pair Fields and Ford or AR and Ford. I would keep AR. I would sell Fields on the high. Go to that owner. I don't know what that owner has, though, but I would go to that owner and offer them London and Fields, offer them Tutu and Fields. Nico and Fields would be good. Ford and Fields would be good, but Nico would be pretty impressive to trade high right now. And you got to get something strong, bro. You got to get a Devontae Smith struggling. You got to get a Waddle. You can't go down in the cellar and get some sort of crazy cheap or RB or wide receiver. You need to sell, especially if Collins is involved. If Ford's involved, I could take a Christian Watson for Fields right now and throw Ford in. But if you're going to throw Nico in, you got to get more because Nico commands it. Nico's been playing really well. 12-man PPR. I'm 2-2. Fields, AR5, Gibbs. Same thing for you. You might want to trade Fields. Also Hunt, DJ Moore, Flowers, Dell, Hollywood Brown, Holding, Sharps. Probably Fields and Gibbs to get that Aaron Jones, man. Fields and ETN to get that potentially Pollard type upgrade or Eckler. Like Fields and ETN for Eckler might be very strong for you. Wilson and Fields to get that upgraded wide receiver into that top 12 to 14 overall player that is a wide receiver. Those are the moves to make for your team. Want to move my running back stable. Willing to fire for a 2-for-1. Fire for a 2-for-1. Walker, Hall, Etienne, Najee as ammunition captain. I would say probably, bro, you could easily get. I would try Najee and Etienne for Walker. I would try Najee for and something on the bench somewhere, like whether it's a Nico or preferably someone lower. Najee and something for Aaron Jones injured. I would try and get Achane using Najee and even Hall maybe for Achane and something. Walker for Eckler. JT would be an amazing go-get using Najee and something, using ETN and something for even JT. Although I don't want to sell ETN low. I love ETN. I'm a little worried about volume, and it's just one of those players that, look, we love certain players. Geezer dropping a $5 hauler without anything attached. I'll try and find a comment later. Again, by the time I see these, they're so far gone. I'll try and find you, Geezer. But yeah, overcome those are the moves I would try and make, bro. You got a really good squad and a lot of ammunition, but Eckler's probably my favorite. JT, Aaron Jones are running backs I'm going after. Top wide receivers that are struggling. This buy list will definitely help. Cooper Kupp's interesting to go after. Amon-Ra, Olave, all interesting to go after. Bijan's interesting to go after. If you had one of those guys, obviously, just ignore the name that I threw out that you had. Isaac, thoughts on Eckler rest of season? Obviously, you've heard by now, based on the content of this show. I'm going and getting him. I'm 2-2, thinking of trading Monty and Olave to the 1-3 owner team as Eckler and Amon-Ra. I would take Amon-Ra and Eckler over Monty and Olave in a heartbeat. You're not going to get that done, so you're probably going to have to trade something else. You might have to trade Monty and a player. I don't know if I wouldn't trade Monty and Olave both for Eckler, but you might have to trade Monty and another player, or K9 for Eckler. Pollard for Eckler. I try and get more because I feel like fair market value might suggest you can get more, but I do like Eckler, and I think he's a great buy low. Trade Henry and Goddard for A.J. Brown. I would do that in a millisecond there, Brandon, in a millisecond. Kyle Woods traded my JT for Kamara. I like that because Kamara's out there playing. We don't really know what JT is in store for, but JT's a great buy low. I love both of them, but Kamara's a better, safer version of them right now. But that could change really quickly, I'm 3-1. Trade Hurts and Flowers for Achane and AJB. Love's your QB2. I like that. You're gonna roll with Love. You've got Achane and AJB now for Hurts and Flowers. I like that. It's a tough move to send Hurts away, but that's a smart maneuver, and you're putting your balls on the line. And I like it, bro. Does ETN sell high apply to Dynasty? Yeah, and Gibbs is a very good buy low carry. I think people that are writing off Gibbs in Dynasty are making a grave mistake. Offered Swift for Ridley. I would rather have... I like both of them about the same at this point. If you need an RB, I like the Swift side. If you need a wide receiver, I like the Ridley side. So whichever position of need you have, whatever, that it works out. I don't think that's a bad trade, but both of you make out evenly. Down bad 0-4. Fields, Achane, Madison, Barkley, Hall, Garrett Wilson, Ayuk. You've had injuries with Ayuk. You've had Garrett Wilson struggling. You've had the Achilles tear to Aaron Rodgers taking this out. This team has been hit. Barkley, injuries. Hall, slow start. Fields is horrible start. Achane's been a saving grace. Not a lot to sell other than Barkley, my guy. Eckler. Sell Barkley. Go get Eckler. London and Barkley. Gabe Davis and Barkley. You might have to send Ayuk and Barkley for Eckler and something. But Barkley, Aaron Jones, Barkley, Eckler, Devontae Smith, and a player like I don't know. Maybe you go to the Ramondre owner and you just take a freaking leap of faith on that one with Devontae Smith and trade Barkley in that fashion. I've seen Ramondre get thrown into trades, so you might be the kind of owner that needs to take a gamble on something like that with a Devontae Smith or a wide receiver to get rid of Barkley. But I would go after JT, Eckler, and Aaron Jones first for you using Barkley. 2-2, Allen, Bijan, Kamara, Debo, Olave, Flex, Swift, Watson, Garrett Wilson, Dotson. Trade suggestions. Very, very good. Very, very good team. Allen, Bijan, Kamara, Debo, Olave is fantastic. Swift. I don't think there's much to do here. Okay, too quick. You're talking over the trade suggestions. I would say you maybe trade away Garrett Wilson and potentially, I don't know, Garrett Wilson and Fields to the QB needy owner. Garrett Wilson and Fields for something, Alex. Past that, I'm holding these players. I like everybody else. Garrett Wilson and Fields, go to the QB needy team, see what they have, see what they need. That is the move for you. Thomas, appreciate you. Thoughts on giving up Gibbs and Ridley for Alvin Kamara and Hollywood Brown? I would rather have Gibbs and Ridley than Kamara, probably. But that's really close. I think it's preference for me. I mean, if anybody in the chat wants to vote on this one, it's close enough. Thoughts on giving up Gibbs and Ridley for Alvin Kamara? I like Alvin Kamara a lot, but I still feel like Ridley's... I think everyone's given up on Ridley too quickly. I think Ridley's still very, very close in value to Kamara. Would I rather have Kamara? Probably. But would I just throw Gibbs in? I don't think so. So I think it's close enough for me to not move. But let's see what the chat thinks. Kamara might be safer, depending on your depth, though. But appreciate you to the moon, Thomas, for the $10 hauler. Appreciate you very much. And thank you for that super chat. Appreciate you, broski. And Troy dropping this one. Fell to 1-3 with Bijan, Pollard, Swift, Ridley, and Watson. Dell, would you trade Bijan for Waddle and Hall? No, I would keep Bijan. Or for Jamar Chase straight up, I would keep Bijan. I'm not trading Bijan in that situation. Do I buy Jamar Chase in some contexts? I do. Do I sell him in others? Yes, I do. It just depends. Gibbs Ridley side. Trade Barkley for Pollard. I would take Pollard. Kamara and Hollywood Brown side, says Birdman. So you got mixed reviews on that Gibbs trade. Too quick. You have 30 seconds, pal.
All right, Smitty. This is full PBR. I'm very strong at running back, so I'm about to give you a trade. I'm trading away Hunter Henry, Kamara, and Breece Hall for Kelsey and James Conner.
Hunter Henry. Say it again, Hunter Henry.
Kamara and Breece.
For Connor and Kelsey. Take Connor and Kelsey.
All right.
Yeah, that's a good trade. That's a good trade. I mean, there's arguments to both sides, but I think Kelsey, positional advantage, I like it. It's a good move. All right, too quick. We'll call back when the phone lines are open later. Connor, appreciate you. We got two $20 haulers. Dudley coming in with a 20 watt on screen. Dudley, appreciate you just interrupting and barging in with your 20 watt like Anthony is as well. You guys are getting the bunk bed treatment right now. Double $20 hauler throw out right now. Dollars on the left going to Anthony. Dollars on the right going to Dudley. Let's ride.
Alert. Super chat alert.
So I'm talking about. Anthony says, I finally won 1-3. Hurts, Aaron Jones, Brees, St. Brown, Puka, Ingram, Ford, Dell, Watson. Took your advice and traded Gibbs for Aaron Jones. Any other moves to improve? That's a great trade, bro. Absolutely phenomenal trade. I looking at your team, I think you're pretty solid right now, other than maybe like a London and Ford, or Watson and Ford, or Pearson London, or Pearson Ford, or Pearson Watson, and just try and buy some other player. I don't think you'll get Achane, but you could clearly try and poke around at that. Devontae Smith can be had for that. Waddles can be had for that. Those wide receivers are pretty cheap right now. So, Anthony, I would go take a look at these buy list players right here. Any one of these wide receivers like Lamb, Kupp, Devontae Smith, Olave, Amon-Ra, St. Brown. Those are all very, very easy to buy players right now because their owners are just freaking out. It's insane. So you couple Ford because he's an RB with a player like or Pierce with London. Throw Thielen in and maybe get something going. Traded Gibbs for Aaron Jones. A good trade. Again, Aaron Jones was a fantastic buy low. Dudley, thank you for your $20 hauler. Dudley with a 20, full PPR, 12 team, currently 1-3. Herbert, Chase, Lamb, Walker, Rashad White, Pittman, Flowers, Laporta, Benches, Musgrave, Jaden Reed, Atwell, Sharps, London. What can I do to turn this around? Appreciate you, Smitty. I like the Kenneth Walker for Eckler move. It's what I've been saying all day, and I know people are going to be confused by it because I'm so pro Walker, but look, it's all about adjusting and adapting for me. And I think everybody here knows that I'm the biggest adjust and adapter you'll find, and I don't hold any sort of like player to a higher standard or on a podium or I definitely will move a player I love, and I will definitely adapt to any changing environment. And I just feel like Eckler is the best buy low right now. I've never seen Smitty eat. Is he AI? I mean, Cito, am I AI? I've eaten before, bro. I ate on the 24-hour live stream, but I appreciate you. Dudley, I'm probably trying, if I'm you, I'm trying to trade Chase for that Achane and Devontae Smith. Go to the Achane owner, see what wide receiver they have that you can trade Jamar Chase for, or going and getting another running back, potentially like Aaron Jones on the cheap, and getting a wide receiver thrown in. And if you can get a Debo on the cheap on top of Aaron Jones, or a Waddle on top of Aaron Jones, or a Devontae Smith on top of Aaron Jones, using Jamar Chase and throwing in a receiver like Atwell or a Rashad White even, or a Pittman. Pittman could have a good week though. Flowers could have a good week as well. But like, those guys could be thrown in. Those are moves that I think can make or break you here. I really like the idea of trading away to get Eckler and trading Jamar Chase to get a bigger name or a lower name wide receiver with a running back like Achane. Achane would be my target for you, Dudley, and Eckler and Aaron Jones. Those would be my targets for you first and foremost. Connor, need help 1 and 3 in a PPR. Love Fields, ETN, Achane, Barkley, Pacheco, Jamar Chase, Waddle, Puka. This is a good team. Tough start, but any trades? Honestly, I mean, I try and get Love or Fields into Hurts. Hurts would be a great maneuver for you. Barkley for Eckler. Barkley for JT is risky, but it might be fun. Barkley for Aaron Jones. Jamar Chase for that Devontae Smith Achane kind of combination, but you already have Achane, so you have to look at, like, can you get a player that's really close to chasing your mind and you get Breece Hall thrown in? Like something that can sit on your bench as ammunition. I'm not saying trade Chase away for garbage. I'm saying like a couple wide receiver slots down, and maybe that wide receiver is struggling, you know. But Chase being traded away right now for Aaron Jones and Debo, or Aaron Jones and Devontae Smith, and you give Jamar Chase away, could be league winning. And if you trade Barkley away for Eckler or something, that could be equally league winning. And you could even trade Barkley straight across for an elite wide receiver and just get 1-for-1 going. And the Jamar Chase gives you that Aaron Jones and Waddle move. And then all of a sudden you've made 2 trades and your team looks entirely different. I'm going after all of those things. Appreciate you very much. Ian says, I have Kenny Walker in both leagues. Absolutely love him. What are some trade ideas to sell him? Again, Eckler is the main one. Aaron Jones and something, but I think Walker does command something, because Aaron Jones came out, crapped the bed in week number 4, and Walker did well. So Walker's done well the entire time. Walker's on a bye week, so he's harder to sell, but Aaron Jones and something. But Eckler straight up I would do for Kenny Walker, and I know a lot of people are going to be confused by that. Laughin says Henry for Gibbs and Breece. I'd rather trade for something else. I'm not saying that's not good potential value, but it's a lot of what ifs, and I'd rather get something more secure. Go across position for a wide receiver. Traded Joe Burrow, Pollard, and Amon-Ra for Mahomes and Bijan and DK. I'd rather have Mahomes, Bijan and DK. Yeah, that's a good trade. Nice job. I like that a lot. Kyle, trade Ridley and K9 for Eckler and Evans. I probably would, but I'm a dice rolling mofo, and Evans is a concern. So it's if the chat disagrees on that one, please speak up. Let's vote on that one for Kyle. Traded Ridley and K9 for Eckler and Evans. I would probably rather have the Eckler side, but it is very risky. It is risky. There's risk involved. Tough start. Okay, thank you again for your super chat. Tyler coming in with this one. Send a super chat earlier. Can you pull it up? Yeah, hold on, Tyler. New trade is Pierce, Ridley, and Pitts for Madison, Wilson, and Laporta. Better trade now that I keep Love. So it's Pierce, Ridley, and Pitts for Madison, Wilson, and Laporta. I'd rather have the Ridley. Garrett Wilson and Laporta or Ridley Pierce. I'd rather have the Ridley Pierce side, Tyler. I'd rather have the Ridley Pierce side. I'm not giving up Ridley. I know everybody else wants to, and if you're getting Ridley, to be honest with you, I don't know which side, but it doesn't really matter because I'm giving you my straight up opinion on the side of the trade. I don't know why people are giving up on Ridley. I just don't understand it. It doesn't make sense. This guy scored a touchdown last week, and everyone's going to complain about how he's wide open. It's like, look, drop Cowboys D for Dolphins D or JSN for Dolphins D. Why would you drop the Cowboys defense? Absolutely not. Like, Joey, I love you, and you super chatted, but you got to go on a lap for that one. Drop the Cowboys defense? No. No, bro. No, bro. The answer is no to that one. Appreciate you, though. Full PPR, Puka or Devontae? Who has the better season? I don't know. Look, Cup's coming back, so I'm not saying he goes away, but I'm probably going to go with Devontae from here on out. But Puka's been phenomenal, and there's no doubting that he's going to still be absolutely fantastic. But will he be a top 5, 6, 7 wide receiver with Cup back? I don't think he can be, but will he still be amazing? Yeah. Drop Johnson for Herbert or Bigsby. I would rather have Bigsby out of the three of them, but I do think there's value for all of them. Is Kamara hurting Olave? No. It's so funny how many people thought that, and I'm not saying it can't be the case later, but literally Derek Carr didn't throw the football downfield, and the proof is Olave had like 10 receptions and had 30 yards receiving. So Kamara had 10 receptions and like 30 yards receiving. So even Kamara wasn't getting anything downfield. Carr couldn't throw the football. So it was yeah. The Cowboys defense is the number 6 overall player in Tanner's league. Yeah, I don't know what that question was, Joey. I don't know what that was about. So to answer this question real quickly, is Kamara hurting Olave? No, Carr didn't throw the football. Even Kamara was hurting. Kamara just got 10 receptions. In PPR, he got like 9 or 10 receptions, whatever it was. He got 30 yards receiving off that. Nothing. He got nothing off that. He got 3 points off of receiving yards. The only points Kamara scored were the PPR dump-off passes. It's not... Olave needs to get the football downfield, though. No one's saying that will be resolved, like if Carr can't throw, but it has nothing really to do with Kamara pulling in all of his receptions. 12-team super flex. Any trade ideas? 2-1 T-Law. That's great. Good quarterback play there. Brees, Achane, Devontae Smith, J.J. Waddle. You had a really, really good team. To be honest with you, I can't even envision a trade that makes sense for you because you don't, no offense, have any depth players worth trading for. No one's going to go after those guys. And so you'd have to divide and conquer something. And unless you're trading Adams for like a Devontae Smith and getting a Brees Hall bump into ETN or something, which you could explore those things. Adams for a wide receiver like Devontae Smith, CeeDee Lamb, Ridley, and see what Brees could be bumped into or T-Law be bumped into. Those would be the only ideas, Joe, I have for you. But those could be really good ones if you pulled something like that off. 0-4, 12-team PPR, 2 flex, love. Daniel Jones, Aaron Jones, Ramondre, Achane. Trade Ramondre if you can. You might not be able to. J.J. Waddle, C. Watson. Your team's really solid. London and Brees and Ramondre are all players I'm trying to couple together to get an Aaron Jones, to get a Devontae Smith, to get a CeeDee Lamb type player. Those are all players that are attainable, I think, using Ramondre because he's an RB and people are willing to take a chance on an RB, even struggling. So Ramondre and London for Devontae Smith, Ramondre and London for Ridley. Those are all really good moves. I don't know what kind of RB you're necessarily going to get, but if you throw in Brees, you might be able to do, Ramondre and, keep Brees if you can. Ramondre and London for ETN type of move is doable. It's really doable. I love that you have Achane. Keep him. Ride the wave. Don't assume the wave's going to crash. True Penguin. QB Fields. Love. Garrett Wilson. Olave. DJ Moore. Watson. Swift. Kamara. Tight end Laporta. Bench is Roshan. Nothing on the bench worth trading. Dotson or JSN rest of season. I go Dotson. As far as the team, I mean, I'm trying to get into a Hurts if I can. What do I use? DJ Moore to get into Hurts. But past that, I'm not trading Olave. Garrett Wilson in Fields for Hurts and something. It would be interesting if you could get like I know you already got him, I think, Christian Watson, right? Like that kind of player back that's struggling or something. But I mean, Hurts is the move here that stands out to me as a move that could really help you. Past that, ride Fields, ride the train out a little bit, let those guys gain value. I don't know that I'm making necessarily any moves, to be honest with you. The phone lines are closed, but because Rockout's a Mars man, I can give him 30 seconds. But the phone lines are closed for everybody else, but he's a Mars man, so he gets to cut right in. But you only get 30 seconds because I got to roll through all these super chats. Go ahead, Rockout. 30 seconds is yours.
Yeah, do I still play the Cowboys or find someone else for this week since they're playing the 49ers?
That's probably why Joey asked his question. I'm still playing I mean, unless you get something amazing, I'm not playing some garbage defense that has a decent matchup over the Cowboys. The Cowboys just make plays.
How about the Lions?
I don't know, bro. I don't know that I'm necessarily let's see here. They're at home, right? They're a good play. The Lions are a good play, but what's the chat think? Dallas against the Niners, or are you rolling with Detroit at home against the Carolina Panthers? I'm going to say give me Dallas. I'm just not straying from that. All right, Rock Out. Check the chat. They'll be voting right now. Appreciate you, pal. Marsman, Rock Out.
Appreciate it.
Marsman, Rock Out. Jump the line because that's what the Marsman card's for. Phone lines are closed, but he gets in. Got some trades done today. Gibbs for AR5. Love that. And Nico for Evans. I think some might argue they'd rather have Nico right now than a hurt Evans, but I don't mind that. That trade can be argued. Team is now T-Law, AR5, Bijan, Kamara, Ridley, Watson, Fergie, Breece Hall. Very good. If Breece Hall turns it around somehow, some way, you're going to be in fine position. If he doesn't, I'm not going to lie, you'll probably have to crawl through each win, and you could win it all, though, one game at a time. But Breece Hall would be the defining factor for you of taking that extra step, the difference maker, the differential. PPR, what do you think? QB, T-Law, Stroud. Probably starting Stroud right now. Running backs, Walker, Eckler, and Swift, and B. Hall, Charbonnet. Wide receivers, Olave, Ridley. I love your team. Kittle, really good team. Trying to get Achane and Gibbs for Walker. He might want more. Yeah, I would take Achane and Gibbs for Walker, to be honest with you. It's a dice roll. I don't know how much more I would give him, though. I'm not giving him like Breece Hall or Swift or anything crazy like that. I don't even think I'd give him Christian Watson, like a Pickens maybe. But even that, you're giving up Walker, who honestly should have more value than Achane in most circles, But I understand it, and I'd rather have Achane personally. And I know that's crazy, but that's just the way I feel about Achane. So I like Dallas getting stomped by the Niners like every year, says Ty Lee. What do we get? What do we get here? Cowboys always getting hated on. Cowboys, Detroit in a vacuum. Detroit, Dallas playing against the number one offense against defense. It seems like a mixed bag on the Dallas Cowboy versus Detroit starting matchup this week. But I don't know how you bench a team that's playing like a top 10 overall player. It's me. How am I losing? Superflex 2-2. Allen, Tua, great quarterbacks. Swift, Rashad, Hall, Diggs, St. Brown, Watson. Well, I mean, you've been waiting on Hall. You've been waiting on Watson. Watson's back. Would I try and trade Rashad White and Dell, or Rashad White and Ferguson, and go rogue at tight end and get another tight end and just try and figure out a way to get into a Devontae Smith somehow, using Rashad White or Hall with a wide receiver like Dell or a tight end like Ferguson, which I don't know you can do, but certainly people are very reactive and they'll go buy Ferguson really high right now. So you might be able to get Rashad White and Ferguson to get you some kind of wide receiver you shouldn't be sniffing, like even a Waddle. and that might be a difference maker for you. But holding on this team is a wise idea too. I just think if you shore up that Rachaad White for another player, Aaron Jones is injured, maybe you have to give up Christian Watson in that. Maybe you have to wait a week for Christian Watson to return to form. That's probably what you got to do. Wait for Hall, wait for White to have a little bit of a nice game, Watson to bounce back, Ferguson to solidify even more, and Dell to have a pop-off game. And then I think you got some trade value, but you probably are a hold and wait type of team. 4-0. Thank you for your super chat, Finns. Appreciate you. T-Law, Stroud, K. Walker, Bijan, Sharbs, Algier, Gibbs, St. Brown, Watson, Dell. A team has Kamara, JT, Eckler, trades for Walker, Gibbs. Eckler, bro. Eckler. Eckler for JT or KW3 for JT and something, but I think you need to get something. Walker commands a lot. He's a top like 5 or 6 running back right now. So you have to trade him high. Probably waiting on Watson and Gibbs and some of these guys to have good games. I don't know that there are a lot of sell moves for you. A team has Kamara and JT. I'd rather have maybe Kamara and something over Walker, but I think Walker commands more. He's been playing out of his mind. And other than that, you know, unless I'm getting like Aaron Jones and something, Eckler straight up, JT and something, I don't know that I'm moving K. Walker yet. Your team's like a hold. But I like it. You're 4-0 for a reason, too. So make sure you're only doing a move if it makes a lot of sense. 10-man PPR. Thank you for your super chat, by the way. 10-man PPR, 1-3. Fields, Bijan, Achane, Olave, Garrett Wilson, Devontae Smith. Very good team. I like this. Need to make a move, but this league don't trade. Well, then it's going to be hard for you to do something, but I guess I would potentially try and maybe trade. I mean, maybe your team. I love this team. I'm holding. Unless you turn Fields into Hurts or Fields into a little bit safer quarterback. Tua. Fields for Tua. Give up London. Give up Akers. Give up Pickens, but don't give up anything else. And you probably wait on that team. But I do like the idea of going and getting Tua. Amy with a $10 hauler. Appreciate you with a $10 hauler. Says, my team is T. Law, Tua, Gibbs, Laporta, Williams, Monty, Barkley, Warren, Thomas, Dell, Pickens, Thielen, Higgins. Okay. 1-4, drop anyone. Who to play? So Tua's your starter. Laporta, awesome tight end. Williams, I assume that's Javonte, is on the bench for now. Monty, starter. Barkley is probably somebody I look to trade. I loved getting Eckler. The fact that you're 1-4 makes it a little scary to go trade for a guy that's on a bye week right now. But I would send Barkley for Eckler. And if I had to give up an injured Higgins or something, I probably would. He's hurt right now. Nico Collins is tempting to trade in your situation on the high to try and get into that Eckler. But I think that if you could weather through it, even if you were 1-5, which would be scary, I know, but you'd come in strong with a Tua, an Eckler, a Monty. You have Gibbs there if Monty gets injured, and Gibbs would go nuts if Monty did get injured. You'd have I mean, you'd be thin, but it would be an interesting move. Does anybody have any other ideas for Amy's team right here? Throw them out, and we'll toss them on screen. But Barkley's the only real. I mean, you could sell Monty high as well, but you'd have to sell high. You'd have to get like an Achane and Devontae Smith for Monty, and I don't know that anybody's going to do that. Like, you throw in a Collins, you do Monty and Collins for Achane and Smith, or Achane and Ridley. Go to the Achane owner and see what they would give you with Achane. Maybe they wouldn't. Maybe they would say, I want Achane over Monty, but you won't know until you try. Someone says sell Tua. I don't know that Tua is easy to sell coming off of a mediocre game. Maybe you have to sell Tua or T-Law after this week if one of them has a nice little game. Thielen's sellable, I suppose. Nico Collins is really good to sell high. How is you come from the future and tell us about Joe Burrow? Tell Tua and Thielen. Sell Tua and Thielen, I mean. Sell Laporta. You could sell Laporta too. It's not a horrible idea because you'll have to go scour the waiver wire, but he's very, very sellable right now. I would say my first stop would be the Achane owner. See what you could get with Achane for Monty or what you could get with Achane for Barkley. If you could turn Barkley or Monty into Achane and something significant, even if you had to throw in, let's say, a Higgins injured or a Nico Collins, if the wide receiver was big enough, it would make sense. Thank you for the super chat. Hopefully the chat can give you some other ideas as well. But the team's good. It just Higgins going down didn't help. Monty going down didn't help. Not knowing what to do the week Monty came back didn't help. And Tua, Tua is probably going to bounce back this week. So I definitely love that you have Tua Tagovailoa. Okay, I have no comments, Smitty. Just trying to help keep the lights on. Thank you, Geezer, dropping the $5 holler. And Geezer has had the other $5 holler. $5 plus $5 equals a moonshot.
To the moon.
Thank you, Geezer, for dropping the 10 wad on screen, my guy. Geezer to the moon. Laughing with another one. Laporta and Lockett for Debo. I would rather have... You don't have any other tight... Let's see. Guy has Andrews, too, so I have Lamar. Laporta and Lockett for Debo. I guess I'd rather have Debo, but like if you need to fill that tight end position and you believe in Lockett, it's not a bad move. I would say it's pretty even. I always tend to not want to trade for Lockett for some reason, but he can be steady. But I don't know. Lockett, what did Lockett even finish with last week? Or last night? Lockett had 4 for 59. He's pretty decent. I mean, Laporta and Lockett's probably safer, but I lean Debo, but I'm a little more risk averse. Smitty, I'm 1-3. Just traded B-Rob for Waddle. Team is Duty. What moves do I make? I like that move. Bijan, Pollard, Joe Burrow's obviously the quarterback the position you're concerned about here. So, I mean, can you get into Jalen Hurts using Ayuk and Burrow? Can you get into a Jalen Hurts using Watson and Burrow, London and Kirk and Burrow to get into Hurts? Tua, I would trade Burrow for Tua and give up London, to be honest with you. That would be a move I would make. Go get Tua or Hurts. I think they're the two most acquirable big scoring quarterbacks. Got Hurts, Swift, Bijan, Brown, Nakua, Hawkinson, Cooper. Bench is more Herbert, Shar. Okay, 3-1. Any moves to make? Not really. Your team's 3-1 for a reason. Unless I'm selling Cooper for like Ridley or Cooper for Devontae Smith and something, or even straight up if you want. I just think, we have different preferences, and I know you got A.J. Brown, so maybe Devontae Smith isn't a great option. Maybe it's Lamb. Maybe it's, if we look at the buy list, maybe it's Cup if you want to take a big gamble. Olave, Amon-Ra St. Brown's a great buy low for a lot of other people. Those are moves I would look to make using Cooper. And if you got to throw a player with Cooper in, I would be tempted. Like Herbert had a big game, so Cooper and Herbert to get a player of the caliber of... I mean, maybe you can do... I think Herbert and Cooper get you one slightly better wide receiver. That's the only move. Your team is absolute glory. Don't overthink it. Don't trade anybody that you don't need to trade. Lego, appreciate you. I'm going to take this off screen because it's in my face. Lego to the moon. Trade Keenan and Monty for Eckler and Debo. Give me Eckler and Debo over Keenan and Monty, but one could argue that. I mean, there's an argument on both sides of that trade. O'Donnell traded Gibbs and Ayuk for Achane and Waddle. Achane and Waddle, total Smitty approved. You know that. Pat on the back for that one. Jacinto, appreciate the $2 hauler. Which one should I... the veto police didn't get you. Which one should I start? Gibbs, JT, or Hall? I mean, we don't know. If JT's playing, obviously JT. Past that, I guess I would go Hall for now. But Gibbs and Hall, let's bring that one up a little later in the week, though. Okay, take a look at my roster, and from my hauler earlier, just got offered to give up Lamar for Kamara and Burrow. Okay, Ryan, hold on. Lamar for I don't like going down to Burrow, bro. Lamar for Kamara and Burrow. Chat, should he take Burrow and who's the other quarterback? Do you have like Love somewhere or something? What's he got? I mean, maybe I do this and take the gamble on Burrow. Guys, does he take Burrow and Kamara or keep Lamar? That's a tough one. Ryan, I'm going to leave that on here and let the chat answer that question, and then we'll come in strong with a distinction here at the end. CMC, Ridley, and Kincaid for Tyreek, Etienne, and Andrews. CMC, Ridley, and Kincaid for Tyreek, Etienne, and Andrews. I would take CMC side, but arguable to a degree, I suppose. But Garrett, that's a tough one. Guys, vote on this one. Give up Lamar or no? Keep Lamar. Burrow is such a risk, man, right now. Kamara is a nice ad, but what if you just crumble at quarterback? You can't win. Find another RB. The only other thing you could say is like trade if you can make another trade and trade Burrow into Tua by giving up another bench player like a Nico type. I'm just throwing a name out there. Then like all of a sudden you got Tua and Kamara. That's better. But you might run the risk of not being able to get into a quarterback, bro. So it's a risky proposition. Chase for Hawkinson, Mike Evans, and Waddle. I would take I'd take Hawkinson, Mike Evans, and Waddle. Oh, you own Laporta? Then no. I want a different trade. I don't mind trading Chase, but that trade doesn't make sense then. Pittman, Andrews, Stevenson for Debo, and ETN. Which side? I would say the Debo ETN side wins. I don't trust Stevenson at all. So Pittman and Andrews, while that's a nice side of this trade, it makes me not. I just don't trust Ramondre at all. If Ramondre bounced back, that side could win. I mean, it's certainly possible. Thank you, James, for the $10 hauler. James, appreciate you. Smitty 10 team. I'm 2-2. I have Stroud, Burrow, CMC, Barkley, Madison, Javonte, Olave, Debo, Ayuk. Any moves? Should I drop Javonte for McLaughlin? I probably would at this moment, but could you regret it later? Maybe. Stroud's your starter. Maybe you trade Burrow away to the QB needy team that's just taken a leap of faith on Burrow. And Barkley, I'm trading for Eckler, Barkley for Aaron Jones, Barkley for Achane, and something if you can pull that off. Barkley, it just concerns me. Olave, Debo, Ayuk is very, very solid. It sucks that you have both of them, though, but it is nice that you can feel pretty secure that one of them is going to go nuts. But then, like, what do you do with Christian Watson if you can't start all of them? So maybe you trade Ayuk on the high. Ayuk and Barkley are probably the two sell-high players if it's me. And you could always contemplate putting them both together to get one bigger name running back. But you do run the risk of, like, okay, is Bijan and CMC and Eckler the only two players that are actually, worth that kind of value? Maybe. And Eckler, you'd almost want to get something with it because he's injured and, obviously he's on a bye week, but people will be freaking out if they own him right now because they can't weather through it. So T-Law, Lave, D. Smith, Garrett Wilson, Nico, Bijan, Pacheco, trade D. Smith for Richardson and Flowers. Yeah, I probably would. Anthony Richardson's worth it, but it's tough. Flowers has to step up to make that trade feel really good, right? But I would probably do that. Thank you for the $10 hauler, Nate.
To the moon.
AR5 is so exciting to own, and he scores so many points. It's probably worth it. 10-team PPR, 1-3. QB, Jordan Love, Burrow. Running back, Bijan, Achane, Taylor. Great running backs. Brees and Gibbs in the wings. Kupp, Olave, Pittman. Nothing to do here. Laporta, what moves? The moves, quarterback. Upgrade quarterback, that's it. Using Addison, Watson. Would I use Laporta even though he's a secure tight end option right now? Yeah, I would use Laporta. If I could upgrade Jordan Love or Burrow into a Hurts, I do it. Into a Tua, I do it. If I could start Love, I start Love. And either way, this team's fire. Brees and Gibbs at some point will probably be trade options for you to upgrade Pittman. But I think you kind of wait. You don't want to sell low on Brees or Gibbs. And you certainly don't want to sell Kupp or Olave or Bijan or Achane. So try and upgrade a quarterback. Try and use Love or Burrow and Watson or Addison or Pittman or Laporta to get into Hurts or maybe Tua in a lesser deal. Recovery, should I start Pacheco over Gibbs? Absolutely right now. And I'm also sitting Olave for Nico. I wouldn't sit Olave. I'd find another player to sit for Nico, but Olave's your wide receiver 1. Like, can't you go to your wide receiver 3 and tell him to take a seat? Like, what are we doing there? Trade Pollard for Gibbs and Debo. Not enough. I'm keeping Pollard. That's a negative on that, Ghost Rider. That's a negative. Which wide receiver or QB should I try and get for D. Henry? I would go after Lamb. I'd go after Kupp. I'd go after Taylor. I'd go after Achane. I'd go after Achane and something if possible. I'd go after Aaron Jones. I'd go after Kamara. I'd go after Bijan. I'd go after Swift and something, Waddle and something, Debo and something, Ridley and something, Devontae Smith and something, Olave and something, Amon-Ra straight up. And if you can't get and somethings in some of those cases, it might still be okay. Those are all definite options. Khalil Herbert, Ridley, and Christian Watson for Debo and Kyron. Ridley, Watson. I'd probably go Debo and Kyron, but that's because Kyron's playing out of his mind. He's an RB. A lot of trade value, but there's risk on all sides because, Kyron's is risky to trust as he is to ignore. You know what I mean? Trade Higgins and Pierce for Kupp. I'd take Kupp in a millisecond. Absolute smash. Easy peasy. Ronaldo, Fields, Cousins, Diggs, Wilson, Watson, Addison, DJ Moore, Swift, Hall, Sanders. 2 and 2. What offer for Hurts? What offer for Bijan? So either quarterback and let's say a DJ Moore would get the quarterback upgrade maybe done, maybe not. I'd throw Hall in with either quarterback to get the Hurts upgrade done, honestly. Sanders, I'd throw him in to get the quarterback upgrade done. Bijan, same kind of thing. I would give up. Maybe I give up the quarterback to if the Bijan owner's got a QB need. If he doesn't, then I don't know that there's a lot of easy trades to get Bijan because, honestly, you'd probably have to give up too much to decimate your team. Would I give up DJ Moore and Sanders? Yeah. Would I give up Addison and DJ Moore and Sanders? Probably. Would I give up Hall and Sanders? Yes. Would I give up DJ Moore and Hall? Yes. Would I give up Watson and DJ Moore and Sanders? Maybe. But you are depleting yourself quite a bit by doing the Bijan move. The quarterback move will be fantastic, though, Ronaldo, if you could pull that off. Appreciate you very much for the super chat. Smitty to the moon. Should I trade Mahomes and Gibbs for Devontae Smith, Kyron, and Stafford? Mahomes and Gibbs for Devontae Smith, Kyron, and Stafford. The other guy owns Swift, and I could also throw in Gainwell. I don't know, bro. Should I trade Mahomes and Gibbs for Devontae Smith and Kyron and Stafford? I'm going to say no. I'm going to say I'd rather bank on just Mahomes being the best player in that deal and just being hopeful that Gibbs comes around than make that trade. Trade Monty for Pittman straight up. No way. What do you mean Pittman straight up? Dark Knight, you're my boy, Blue. Okay, don't make me tell Lego Batman about this one. I mean, Pittman's going to have a good week. Okay, let me just start off by saying that. Pittman's going to have a good week. Okay, but Monty is worth 4 Pittmans. Don't make me tell Lego Batman. 10-team full PPR. Should I trade JJ and Gibbs away for Chase and Achane? Probably take that gamble if you needed a big swing. You're 1-3, but JJ's hard to trade, man. But Chase and Achane, that's a lot. I'm 0-4. Got offered Olave and James Cook, Stroud, Higgins for my Achane McLaurin. Olave, James Cook. I'd probably take the Olave, James Cook, Stroud side. But very, very close, and I hate giving up Achane. But McLaurin, I don't know. I trust in James Cook and Olave and Stroud. That's a lot. Higgins, I'd probably try and move some of that, though. I try and flip some of that like a yard sale. But it's arguable. I mean, Achane's... I say don't trade Achane in this video. So my general thinking is like, no. But Olave and James Cook is pretty good. I don't know. It also depends on your team. You know, if your team's solid, then you just keep Achane and keep letting it ride. If you're putting some good players on the bench, like Nico or something, then why do the trade at all? Keep Achane. You know what I'm saying? Smitty, 12-team PPR, Superflex. Would you trade ETN and Bigsby and a first-round pick for Achane in 2 seconds? I don't know. I guess maybe, yeah. I think Achane's probably worth it. I could do the same deal with Walker and Charbonnet instead of ETN. I'd rather keep Walker and Charbonnet, but that's close. And if the chat has a different opinion on that, toss it out. That's interesting. Anthony, appreciate your $2 hauler. Start 3 half PPR: Achane, Swift, B-Rob, and Kamara. You put B-Rob on the bench in that case. That's an easy question. But you know, anything can happen. So trust your gut. Monica, appreciate you. Activated team love. 0 and 3 offered ETN Dotson for Chase and countered with ETN and Pickens. So you offered ETN and Dotson for, and you'd be getting ETN and Pickens. ETN, oh no, hold on. I'm sorry. Chase for ETN and Pickens. I give up ETN and Pickens for Chase if that's what you're asking. Definitely. That's an easy call. Would you trade Chase for Pollard and DJ Moore? Probably. I'd take Pollard and DJ Moore. That's a great question, though. Got offered Olave, Ford for Ridley, Brian Robinson. I'd take Olave and Ford. You know, I'd take Ridley and Brian Robinson by a hair. I think the receivers are really closer than people think. Start Jordan at Raiders or Justin Fields at Commanders. I'm going probably Jordan Love. Just because it's a Thursday night game. I don't know. What's the chat think on that one? Love or Fields this week? The Thursday night game scares me. 10-team PPR. Let's visit that one tomorrow, too. Because maybe I'll change my mind to Fields right before the game. 1 and 3, QB, AR5. Pollard, Kyron, Achane. Great running backs. Hill, Devontae, Watson. Great wide receivers. Any moves? Yeah, sit on that team and let it ferment. Because there's no real moves to make. Unless you're trying to upgrade into a Eckler using Kyron and Addison or Kyron and Watson, which I don't think you're going to do. Pollard for Eckler, maybe? That would be the only move I'd consider, Matt, with that team. That team's phenomenal. Would you drop Love or Fields for AR5? AR5 shouldn't be on... Recovery, you know you're my boy, Blue, but how in the hell are you leaving AR5 on the waivers unless this just happened? Which I don't see how it could, because someone would have had to... Maybe this happened. Maybe they cut him right before the game and you couldn't pick him up and it wasn't your fault. But of course, and I'm probably dropping... I trust Love a little more than Fields, but I wouldn't drop either one. If you're in a Q, you can only hold 2 QBs. I guess you got to drop Love, I suppose. I don't know. But I'm holding all 3. I drop somebody else. I hold all 3. I make a trade, but I don't know how in the hell AR's been sitting on your waiver wire when we talk them up nearly every week. Pick Stroud and sell T-Law. Yeah, sell T-Law if you can. I don't know if anybody's going to buy him. Higgins, Kyron Williams, hurt. Let's see here. Stroud, pick up Stroud. Definitely pick up Stroud and start him over T-Law this week. And Higgins is hurt, yes. Kyron Williams. I don't know what the other question is with Kyron Williams part, but I would say Stroud and sell T-Law. I don't know what you could get T-Law for T-Law. Honestly, no one's going to give you pretty much anything for T-Law right now. But maybe a QB needy team would give you a Christian Watson or something like that. That would be unbelievable if you could pull off something like that. Just got Debo for Ford and Nico. You know, Nico's got something to say about this trade. I'm not going to say you smashed him, but I'm going to say I'd rather have Debo. But I could understand somebody wanting to do either side of that trade, so I don't think anybody got anybody. It just comes down to, do you believe in Nico? Will Nico continue? If there was a fantasy draft for FF content creators, you'd be the #1 pick, bro. Thanks, appreciate you. Thanks for the A1 content. How much fab out of 1,000 for Gibbs? Honestly, look at the historical data, and if it says like 600 is the highest bid, I'd probably drop that highest bid. You know, if you don't think you got to drop 100%, don't. But he's a league winner. He's like the handcuff of all handcuffs right now. It's sad to say that he's a handcuff, but he is. But he's a home run handcuff, and I would want Gibbs If he was cut, I'd pick him up so quick. I would say use the historical data and go max. 10-team super flex. What other players are going to be available like in week 7, 8, 9? Use the max if you need to. But make sure you're smart. 10-team super flex, half PPR, 3 wide receivers, 2 flex, 2 QB, Russell Wilson, T. Law, Daniel Jones, running backs from Ramondre. This team's, the wide receivers are lit though, Bill. Sun God, Ridley, Olave, Puka, love that. I'm assuming you can play all 4. If not, you should be making trades. You should have already made trades. Quentin Johnson, okay. Waller, any moves? I mean, you got to trade one of those wide receivers and upgrade the RBs. Go after, Ramondre and I don't know, Collins for Achane. Ramondre and Collins for ETNs or Walkers or Pollards. Try your best to do that. And if not, I mean, I give up Ramondre straight up with Collins for like an Aaron Jones or JT or Kamara or something like that. Those are all moves to make, my guy. And you got to get one. You got to get into one of those RBs using your wide receivers. You have to. This is Oscar with a $20 holler. Oscar, appreciate you, my broski.
Alert. Super chat alert.
12-team, half PPR, 4-0. Currently Hurts, Walker, Kamara, JJ, Amon-Ra, Goddard, London, Gabe Davis, Hopkins, Mitchell, Roshan. Trade Kamara and London for Achane and Ridley. Trade Kamara. Yes. Hunter Henry. Okay, so trade Kamara and London for Achane and Ridley in a millisecond. Gabe Davis instead of London, maybe. I don't think I get picky. Let him decide, because you're gonna crush on that trade. That's a Smitty approved trade. Either way you look at it. And you let them dictate what they want, but maybe you act like you don't want to give up one, and then you do it to get them to do the deal. What's a nice wide receiver to get in return for K9? Honestly, K9's worth so much right now. It's Lamb, it's Kupp, it's Waddle and something. It's Devontae Smith and something. It's Olave and something. It's Amon-Ra, maybe straight up. It's those type of players, but you need to add something because K9's playing that good. He deserves it. Sent super chat a while ago. Can you pull it up? Flipper, I think I already did. I think you just were maybe... Let me just see if you were impatient or not. Let's see. Flip. Sending Chase and Stevenson for Aaron Jones and Amon-Ra. I think I did get to this one. Sending Chase and Stevenson for Aaron Jones and Amon-Ra. I take Aaron Jones and Amon-Ra. And if I missed that, Flipper, I don't know if I did. I don't think I did. I think you just thought it was going to be quicker return of response. But I would take the Amon-Ra side. That's a really, really decent move. I trade Chase if I can. If I can get 2 players for Chase, I'm doing it. Kamara and AR5. Thank you for the super chat, Flipper. The double. Kamara and AR5 for Bijan. I would take... you have Love and T-Law. That's tough because I would take AR5 and Kamara. It's such a lot of points, man. And I love Bijan. That's a fantastic move. It really is, because Kamara's going to play well and AR5 is going to help win the league if you can pull it all together. It's a great scoring quarterback, man. One flex, McLaurin, Dobbs. I probably go Dobbs this week, but it's close. Rock out. Very, very close. And thank you for the super chat. Trade my Saquon and Ramondre in Hollywood. I'd rather have Saquon. Ramondre's not the play for Saquon, bro. Trade Saquon, but not for Ramondre. Ramondre is way worse off. Trading Debo, Kittle, Thielen for CD, Kincaid, and Pittman. I'd rather have CD, Kincaid, and Pittman by a hair. But thank you, Robbie. You're the best. But that's super close. And David with the super chat, does Jerry Jeudy have value? Should I trade Javonte for Jerry Jeudy and try and flip? I mean, they're kind of both nothing burgers, bro. I suppose Jeudy might have a tad more value than than Javonte, but we're talking about a tad. So maybe, but that's almost an uneventful trade, a nothing burger. Appreciate you all, guys. Thank you all for being here. We've been here for 2 hours and 30 minutes. I might call it a night here. We got one more super chat that just came in. Double coming in with the super says Kamara, St. Brown for Waddle, K9. Kamara and St. Brown for Waddle and K9. I'd rather have Kamara and St. Brown, but it's very close and arguable. Trust your gut on that one. Charbonnet is solid running back, but Walker will dominate snaps. Absolutely, Superfish. I think Walker's still the man. And I don't want anybody trading Walker on the low. But when you get asked a question like this, K9 for Achane, Hammer, I want to say go get Achane and a little something more because Walker's kind of commands that respect, I think. But I'm definitely interested in getting Achane and something. Let's see. Michael Wilson, McLaughlin, worth the number 1 waiver claim. It depends on what you got, bro, on your team. But the names are going to get thinner and thinner as we go. So, you might as well use it at some point because it's definitely going to be, something to where at one point there's no more players left. Super chat here, traded Dobbs and Fields for Pittman and Burrow. I could get behind either side. Burrow's a risk. Fields is a little safer than Burrow right now. And I don't know that, you need Pittman all that much. If you don't need Pittman, it was kind of a waste of a trade. If you need Pittman, then it makes sense. This one here from KH3, traded Kamara and Monty away for Amon-Ra and Achane. I would take Amon-Ra and Achane, but it's arguable because Monty's playing that well, Kamara's playing that well, or will play that well. Amon-Ra and Achane for me, but I think it's a really, really, really close call. So I would take the Achane side. I think the Achane side is just more exciting and advantageous. Did 2 chats earlier. I was trying to say I have Tua and T-Law. I want to pick up Stroud or Palmer with Wan'Dale Robinson on the wire. Should I grab? I was trying to say I have Tua and T-Law, want to pick up Stroud or Palmer. I pick up Stroud because there's tons of trade value in Stroud. Palmer's interesting, but I don't know that he's some sort of... I don't know he's going to get you anything in a trade, or I don't think I'd ever use him, but Palmer could prove me wrong. But I definitely pick up Stroud. Stroud's got so much trade value right now. You could really trade him for like a Christian Watson or any sort of like wide receiver 3 or even flex need. Like Stroud's got that much potential. So definitely go get Stroud for sure. No doubt about it. Thank you for your super chat. 2QB. If there's something else you need clarification on, let me know. 2QB, 12-team PPR. My team is QB Love, Kirk, Young, running back Kyron, K9, Hall, AJB, Chase, Watson, Puka, Hawkinson. Do I trade anything to upgrade? I'm 3-1. You're 3-1 for a reason. Do I want you to maybe get a Hurts or a Tua on the cheap this week? If you can. If you can't, no problem. K9 for Eckler, again, is something I've been talking about all show long. It's a risk, but it's an entertaining risk. I think they're both on a bye week, and they're going to come off bye week free. Eckler should be healthy, and it's a risk, but I do like it. I just feel like K9 is amazing, and I am a little bit worried about what happens if he doesn't get the touchdowns. You know what I mean? It just, if you own K Walker, you know what I'm talking about. It's like you're holding your breath, and he ends up doing it every week. I just think it's a smart move if you can get into Eckler. Appreciate you, Michael. Thank you so much. Weird, no one grabbing him. Should I drop T-Law then? For Stroud, yes, I would drop T-Law for Stroud, but I still like T-Law a lot. I don't want anybody that has T-Law right now to think I think he's going to just wither away and become garbage. I think he could definitely rebound for sure. But Stroud's got way more value at this moment in time. And if you could drop some other scrub and keep all of them and use them as trade value, I would probably do that instead. Because if T-Law goes nuts this week, which I fully think he's capable of having that 3 or 4 touchdown game, reviving his value quite a bit. Keep in mind, Tua's done amazing and bad. And amazing and bad. It's like, so if T-Law does amazing, everyone's going to be fickle and jump back on the T-Law train. I just think it's smarter, if you can, to cut some other player. You could even cut your kicker if it's not the number 1 kicker or anything. It's just a mediocre kicker. Cut your kicker and wait until right before Sunday to pick up your kicker and hold the quarterback for a little longer, Amy, so you can maybe make a trade. That's kind of my advice normally. Travis, I'm heading out. What can I do for you real quick? Mars man?
Just real quick, so I'm 1-3, and I have Walker and DK on a bye. So I just wanted to just throw just a couple quick trade offers I'm thinking of offering. I just want to make sure I'm not selling too low. My problem is I have open flex spots, and I don't want to lose another game. So Aaron Jones and Devontae Smith for DK and ETN. Is
No, I'd rather have Aaron Jones than Devontae Smith.
Well, I'd be getting them.
Yeah,
so.
then yes. I like that side.
And then ETN for Gibbs and Flowers.
No, I'd rather have ETN.
Okay. All right. And the last one was if I had to give up, I have Jordan Love and T-Law right now. If I had to give up T-Law, do you think that's okay, or should I keep the two of them just in case?
You gotta have the two of them. I would not cut down to one QB. That's QB suicide, man. No way.
All right. The last one was if I give up like ETN and DK, if I got back Diggs and Barkley, is that enough?
ETN and DK for Diggs and Barkley, yes. But then I would try and flip Barkley.
Okay.
Yeah, immediately.
Right. Okay. All right. Thanks, Smitty. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Travis. See you later, pal.
Later.
Okay. Got a $20 holler from King.
Alert. Super chat alert.
King, appreciate you. 10-teamer, PPR, T-Law, Ridley, Cup, Waddle, Swift, Barkley, Brees. Good team here. 1-3, and nobody wants to trade. Should I hold or try and drop Roschon for Stafford? I mean, Roschon for Stafford. I don't know that. I'd probably rather drop Jalen Warren over Roschon. I think Roschon, I know he seems like he's far away from the job right now, but I'm telling you, he's kind of a sleeping giant just waiting. I think Stafford's not a guy you're necessarily going to roll out there for sure. I still like T-Law enough, but having a backup quarterback is probably wise, so maybe you drop Jalen Warren right now. And as far as like trades, Cup, you're just waiting on Cup. Waddle will bounce back. Barkley for Eckler, Barkley for Aaron Jones, Barkley for Achane and something if you can. Barkley for JT. You could take a little gamble that way, but that's definitely what I would do. Thank you very much for that $20 holler, King. Appreciate you. This one right here from Charles. Would you trade K9 based on the lack of yards as well as him being touchdown dependent? I mean, that's what the whole show's about, Charles. Yeah. I mean, I've been literally saying that for about almost 2.5, almost going on 3 hours now. It's not that I don't love him. I love him to pieces, man. Little bitty pieces, braces pieces even. But it's a time to recognize that there's an opportunity to say, hey, Eckler's cheap right now, and if you can get him, get him. If you have to do something different, thank you, King. Appreciate your $20 holler. Thanks is all on this side of the table, pal. To the moon, King. To the moon. You hear me? King lives on the moon. I just think that you go make the move. You put your balls on the table. You go get JT and something for K9 because JT doesn't have any. That's a riskier move though. Eckler's much safer. Aaron Jones and something is better than Kenneth Walker, in my opinion. And if you can keep Charbonnet, even better, Charles. But I don't know that you'll be able to. All right, I'm out of here. Appreciate you all. See you. Thank you for the super chats, the $20 haulers. You guys are unbelievable. King with a $20 hauler. Appreciate you, King. Oscar, boy, appreciate your $20 hauler, you monster. If I forget anybody or if I scroll past the $20 hauler, I apologize, and you know who you are. Anthony Z, appreciate your $20 hauler. Thank you so much, kind sir. And if I miss anybody's super chat somehow, some way, in the comments, tell me, hey, you missed my super, and I'll answer you. Dudley, appreciate you. Dudley to the moon. Lego with the $20 as well. Lego's my boy. We've got Rodney S. Santana. Appreciate you for the $20. Brady with the $20 hauler. Who else? Who else was a $20 dropper tonight? G Money. Appreciate my boy G Money. He's always doing it live. The Thumbman or whatever his name is. Appreciate you. Xavier and Brian Stone. All of my $20 hauler droppers tonight. You guys are absolutely unbelievable. Thank you so much. I couldn't do this without you. This show exists because of you. Thank you to my mods. We got Travis Rowe, Sick Nasty, Vampy in the building, Blackbeard. I don't know who else is out there modding tonight, but I appreciate you all. Thank you so much. I will see you all tomorrow, if not tonight or something, if there's any breaking news. But make sure you get to Underdog Fantasy, promo code Smitty, because there's only a short amount of time. I think today is the last day they'll match up to, if it's even going on anymore. It might have crossed over midnight, so it might not work anymore. But try and see. You get at least $100 off or doubled. Your first deposit doubled up to $100. But if you rush, you might still. I can't guarantee it. Might still get the $500 match. So go check out Underdog Fantasy promo code Smitty. I believe it's still going through the night, but it depends on what part of the country you live in. Maybe. I appreciate you all. We'll be doing live drafts for week number 5 using Underdog Fantasy promo code Smitty. So that link I'm going to drop right now again in the live chat. It's in the description of the video and every video. Hit that link. Sign up now. Get ready so you don't miss out on drafting. So if you don't do this now, you won't get into the draft. So just do it now. Get it all out of the way. It takes 1 or 2 minutes. Do a deposit minimum of, I think, $10. They'll match that up to $500. Limited time. And so if you drop 20, they'll put 20. You drop 10, they'll put 10. You drop 100, they'll put 100. But we'll be doing drafts here tomorrow. I will see you all tomorrow. Appreciate you. Deuces. Live Monday through Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern, Monday through Friday, and whenever big news breaks. I'll see you all tomorrow. Yeah, probably wouldn't drop Moody, Amy. That's a good kicker. So I'd probably say your worst player is... I wouldn't drop Higgins, even though he's hurt. It's probably... It's either Michael Thomas or Jaylen Warren. I think probably Jaylen Warren for right now, but just monitor Jaylen Warren. Moody's hard to cut, though. But you could do that. But Jaylen Warren, I mean, you could probably pick Jaylen Warren back up. Later, everybody. Appreciate you. See you later. Later, Klondike. Later, Superfish. Later, Travis. Later, Michael. Later, Joe Santo. Thank you, Birdman. Birdman to the moon. Birdman. Birdman alert. Oh, I thought you trade AR and Tua for Godwin. My bad, says Birdman. He's reacting to somebody's non-trade. Birdman to the moon. Peace out. See you all later. Bye. Don't forget to comment on the video. I try to get back to most of my comments. And if you're a YouTube exclusive member of the $12.99 variety, you click this join button for $12 and I believe 99 cents a month. Hit the membership or join button, and on mobile, I think the join button's there now. Membership or join, click that, and for the $12.99, you can downgrade or upgrade anytime. The $2.99 plan and the $12.99 plan, the $12.99 gets you priority YouTube replies by me on my comments of videos, just so you know. And now I'm officially out.